Hey, so funny story, right? Hypothetically, say that there was a game that you had, right? And they released a better version of it, like a fan team released a better version of it. However, it's extremely confusing, and you've already read through this version like an entire time, and then you went, hey, maybe I'll use the widely released version so I get all the Steam achievements, and then you're like, wait, but the other version's like so much better. Why don't I just use that? So then you're like, it's just gonna be easy. I'm just gonna download it. It's gonna take no time at all. And then it takes another 40 minutes because you forgot exactly like how much it makes you want to die extracting this project. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you're like, wait, I played at least like, I don't know, 7 hours on stream of a different version of this game, and now I have to kind of skip to the place I'm at in the new version to catch up to the old version. So that's where I'm at right now. Let me see if I just am using the right save. That is the right save. Okay. Wow, that is so fucking far. Holy shit. So, here's a cool little thing I get to do. Hey, how's it going? Watch this. I'm gonna add 2 video sources. Let's go down to game capture. Ooh, I wanna add a game capture right here. Yes. You are gonna be this one. Yes. Of course. Oh, there it is. So this is new one. Yes. Okay. So transform it to yes. Great. Cool. Except I don't want you to do that because I want you to like I want you to be small. I want you to be minute, petite. A small little lad. Oh, that is below. Hey, how's it going? This is not you. Listen, I'm gonna give you right now, not gonna be your jam, I bet. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna be sitting here for like an hour. And then where's the other one? Fuck. This one. Yes. Okay. The other one is not this, this one. Yes. Show yourself. Yeah. Great. Okay. Where are we? Good, your birthday's in 3 hours? Happy birthday. Happy early 3-hour birthday. I'm gonna be sitting here for however long, just pressing skip. Okay. No, stop. This. Look on this. Ooh, Xenoblade. Yeah, no worries. I just want to play Xenoblade 3. I've been just playing Xenoblade 3 in my spare time. I want to fucking beat that game, but I can't stop myself from playing literally every fucking part of it. It's a problem. Okay, wow. Isn't this fun? Click this one. Yes. S. No. Tap. No. Control. Yeah. Oh man, I love gaming. Apex is pretty fun. I'm bad at like multiplayer games, so skip. You bitch. Anyway, I get like nervous playing games like that, so for my own sanity, sometimes I just say nah. But you know, more power to you. The only character I liked playing of the one character I played the whole time was the robot guy. You're level 200? That's so epic. I could never. Damn, she's singing her heart out. He's looking, she's looking. Smile. Don't look at this. Ah! Oh, my voice is gonna be so dead at the end of this one. I'm not gonna be able to talk tomorrow. That's it. Wow, look at all these things happening. Damn, dude, that sucks. Oh my god. How long am I gonna be here for? What is the robot? No, I want to say the name, but I don't want to be wrong, so I'm gonna look it up first, as any normal person would do. As any well-adjusted person would do. Where's my fucking... There it is. Let's see. I'm just gonna search the name. Yep, I was right. It's Pathfinder. Nope, it's Pathfinder. Pathfinder's the character I played as, because Pathfinder's epic. The first day is October 4th? Oh, it was October 4th. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. Wow, that's so cool. Nah, it's Pathfinder. Pathfinder's cool. The funny little ropes. The little zip line. It's cool. Aw, oh, man, I love abusive families. Yay. God, they just don't ever shut up. Ugh. When does this game get good? Wow, this is such fitting music. Oh, cool. I literally don't know any of the characters besides Pathfinder. Isn't Apex a game where you can do a little funny twirl with the melee weapons? I love Mario Party music. Ushiro, me a battler. I know. Get on with it. I can't read. I don't know how to read. I lost my ability to read. It just like left my body one day. I just like the funny little twirls. It's the best part. You can go like, phew. But listen. I was like, man, maybe I should play Apex. I want to be able to like twirl things. No, you have to like be good at the game to get stuff to twirl. Like, that's false advertising, because personally, I want to be bad at games and also get to do funny little visual eye candy. That's it. Umineko no Naku Koro ni Oroto of the Witch and Reasoning. It's the same thing. They're saying the same words. It's not true. Nah! Yeah, I'm just bad at multiplayer games, to be honest. It's like in my blood. The one time I was good at a multiplayer game was on stream once for Splatoon 3. I was never able to replicate that. That was a fluke. I popped off and then I never popped again. Oh, I was like, oh man, I love Kirby music. Is this some Spirit Tracks? It's either that or... Whoa, pretty. Yeah, I play an instrument. Kind of. I used to play the piano when I was a kid, and I'm trying to relearn it, but, piano... instrument hard. Who would have thought, but, like, being skilled at something is kind of difficult. Move this closer so I don't have to yell as much. Yell! But I used to play the guitar too. Yeah, instruments are tricky in terms of like how you gotta contort your body. That's the funniest part, is that like sometimes you just gotta hurt yourself. Like reaching those like far keys on a piano, that hurts. I'm sorry, the trombone was only made for people with giant, slack arms. Like apes or gorillas. Oh, wow, we love talking. And your tea's ready? Shut up. Hey, guys. Wow, there's so much character development happening right now. You can really tell. Then it was made for me. You got it. Asa, I read that completely wrong. I read that as I have trouble because I don't have long arms. You have very long arms. Huh? You gotta reach your arms out? Is that a problem? Wouldn't that help if you have long arms? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. It's okay. I misunderstand a lot. It's called being stupid and not reading. Like I said, I don't have the ability to read. Is this... No. We're close. Okay, we're not there yet. Oh, you broke your arm. So, is it made for people with long arms or people with broken arm? Wait, is it the broken arm the problem? So wouldn't it not because... Wait. Listen. This is too much information right now. How fucking far did I get in this chapter? I thought it was like early pickings. Like really early, but no. I got through all this shit? Damn. I was an avid reader back in May of 2022. Wow, so much time passed. Oh, so one arm gained length after breaking it. Gotcha. Oh. Thunderberg Lily. They're just talking about food, talking about whatever. I have no idea what any of the character voices I did for any of these people. This is gonna be rough. Let's just hope I never get to the part where I have to talk. You got suspended again? Didn't you just get suspended? Damn. Was it... Wait, so how did you throw someone if you have a broken arm? Is that how you broke your arm? There's too much suspicion on my part. Huh? 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 A week ago, yeah. Huh? It's fun. God, I love gaming. I'm gaming so hard right now. Is this where I was? Oh, slightly before. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, aw, damn it. Fuck, I got to the place I was. That didn't take that fucking long, did it? No, that was only maybe like 10 minutes. Okay, buddy. Here's the part where I have to break the bad news to you. I will seriously just be reading for the rest of the stream. Like, literally, I swear to God, I will just be reading in character voice. So... So fucking buckle up if that's what you're here for. Transform. Fit to screen. Gonna fight today with my broken arm and delicious Diego? What? Damn. What makes Diego so delicious? Okay, let's go to the sound thing. Turn on sound. Sound on. Let's fucking go. Piano. Okay, fuck. I'm not ready to talk. Oh god, I had to read? This shows how bad I am at reading. Okay. We cross the hall again on our walk to the entrance. I can't even get through one line. I couldn't even get through one fucking line and read it correctly. Oh. Maybe I turned the music down a little too much. Stop streaming so late. That's not my problem. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is my new schedule. It's not my fucking fault. Ah! Fuck. I'm sorry that I live in a better time zone. It's not my fault. How is that my fault? Stop your new schedule? Stop with this attitude. Immediately? Hey, you'll always have Sunday matinees. EST for the win? How does it feel to be in fucking, like, what? 12? 12? We cross the hall again on our way to the entrance. Oh my god, it's a girl! As we did, we once again spotted that witch's portrait. Midnight? Yeah, 12. Look at the number on your clock when it says midnight. Do you see 1, 2? What does that say? 12. It's morning already. I don't know what fucking universe you live in that midnight is the morning. It's night. It's in the fucking name. I see you rolling your eyes at me. Me? I would never. Never. And you are blinking weird? Yeah, I don't like your tone. I'm looking off at your chats on the left side of my screen. I can just not look there if I'm looking weird. As we did, we once again spotted that witch's portrait. However, spotted is probably not the best word to describe that experience. It was more like our eyes were inexorably drawn to it. Hehe. Haha, it's a little goof. Where the fuck is my controller? Is it not plugged in? I don't want to click. I don't want to hear click, 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 click. No! You have to be up at 6 a.m.? I wish you the best. Have a great fucking time being up at 6 a.m. Me, personally, I'll be gaming. And by gaming, I mean reading. 12 a.m.? Yeah. Midnight. 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 Did I say 12 a.m.? Did I say 12 p.m.? 12 Pacific mime. It's a Pacific mime. When morning starts? Midnight! Night! Midnight! Damn it, my control. Okay, I'm clicking. I'm gonna be a click boy. 12:02. 2 minutes after midnight, so still night. It's morning already. Seethe. Cope. Get over it. That woman's eyes, with their sage-like glamour, definitely had the power to make those who viewed it stand rooted to the spot. So, I can't fucking take it! Looking at her fucking mouth go, meh, 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 with no voice, it's killing me. It's fucking killing me. Bye, I'll see you later. Maybe on a different day where I don't stream at a normal time, which is 8 or 9 at night, which is normal. It's a normal time. So this is the witch Beatrice. Wonderful. Wonder if that story is true. Meow 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 meow. Doo doo. Fuck! I can't do the fucking girl voice right now. Okay, I can't fight this. It's true. Please, forgive me for the fucking voice I'm about to have to do. Doo doo. Battler doesn't believe. Back when he had asked us what the picture was, the first person to tell him had been Maria. Therefore, when Battler showed signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Battler didn't have faith in her. Of course, that wasn't what Battler meant. Maria ran up to the portrait and began banging on a plate hanging below it. Bah, bah, bah. Look at this! Maybe the title of the portrait was written there. Maria, trying to prove she wasn't lying, obstinately continued to hit the plate. Look at the fucking plate! Look at it! Huh? Ah, sorry about that. It's not like I doubt you or anything, Maria. Maria. The redhead boy is cute. Yeah, it's a good thing that you had to look at him for 120 hours of gameplay. That's a good thing, you know? Ew! Hard to believe! Fuck! When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she sells by the Shisor. She seemed to I'm taking out my fucking... No, I can't. She seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly ooh-dooting. What's this? My beloved witch Beatrice. Behold the sweet fish river. What's with the weird huge epitaph? If you could stay up that long, trust me buddy, I'm not getting through 120 hours of this tonight. The plate did not have the title of the portrait written on it, but it was much too big to contain only that. It did have it. Beneath the title was what appeared to be a long epitaph. If you just skimmed over it, several unnerving words would jump out at you. Incredible, isn't it? Grandfather had that made. Pretty deep, huh? Voodoo! I know! It's the place where the gold's hidden! Wait, is that story about the Ushiramiya family's hidden gold? No, there's another thing I remember from long ago. Hold on, Aniki. Is this for real? You can stay up for... But that's not 120 hours. That's like 12, right? What? Grandfather had it made, but he never said anything about the picture or the epitaph. Even so, amongst the family, it is often whispered that it indicates the location of Grandfather's hidden gold. And that he will relinquish the inheritance of the gold to the person that solves the riddle. Ooh! Ooh! No 24 hours? Oh. Oh. Okay. I heard it too! I heard that too! Lots and lots of gold! Well, something's like that. Something like 10 metric tons of golden bars. I think it's fake, though. Still, when you read about an epitaph like this, it almost seems real. I think I already explained Grandfather's upbringing, but let me also mention the Ushiramiya family's legend of gold. Grandfather succeeded the Ushiramiya family after it was destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake, and by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, he managed to... Oh my god. I forgot how fucking... It's like... When you're reading anything, you forget how fucking wordy it is until you have to read it out loud. Like, if I was just reading this, I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool, got it, yeah, but like, being like, that much of a story everybody knows. However, this is where the strange part begins. Part of it involves Grandfather's black mage obsession, so its credibility is extremely low, but, well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. After the war, Grandfather correctly predicted what the future would hold, and won a huge gamble, accumulating a vast store of wealth. Oof. But there's a mysterious legend about how he gained his initial funding. Grandfather came from a branch family and had no connections in the business world or the financial world. Even though he had later built connections with the occupying forces, he supposedly started as a nameless person who had yet to gain anyone's trust. Oh my god. It takes trust to gather money. There's no way anyone would lend money to someone they didn't trust. How did Grandfather, who had no reputation at all, manage to obtain his first vast chunk of pawns? When asked that question, Grandfather supposedly answered like this. On a certain day, I encountered the Golden Witch Beatrice. Grandfather then went on and on about his continuing research into alchemy and techniques for summoning demons in order to become a great magician. And the entity, oh my god, and the entity summoned as the result of a demon calling ceremony was the Golden Witch Beatrice. He then apparently made a contract by which he would receive fortune and honor in exchange for his own soul. The witch then granted Grandfather 10 tons of gold. Grandfather used this gold as a collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds, which he then used to multiply his wealth many times over and revive the Ushiramiya family. It seems the story is so old that even our parents were told it when they were still children. So back when our parents were young, they explored this island in all sorts of ways, believing that the gold grandfather had received from the witch might be hidden somewhere. They were really stupid, so they like fell down a cliff, or they like fell into a ditch, and then they just kind of hung out there for a couple hours. There wasn't really anything they could do. They had to send like search parties after them, and however, since there was the danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forest, grandmother began to spread the story that the witch lived in the forest and approaching it was forbidden. I remember that old story. When we were little, we also went all over the island searching for treasure after our parents told us about it. Didn't we get lost in the forest once and start crying until some of the servants found us? Our parents got so mad. Dang, that takes me back. We sure were idiots, weren't we? I mean, you're still one, but whatever. After all, grandfather only brought us to this island after using those funds to get rich, right? That means that he must have had the gold before coming here. There's no way the gold's on this island. That's not necessarily so. Maybe the gold was hidden on the island from the beginning, and he brought the whole island just to ensure that it'd be his and his alone. There was a whole 10 metric tons of it, right? It seems more realistic that he tried to secure a place where it was hidden, rather than try to move it at all. This epitaph was made 2 years ago, and since grandfather wrote it himself, yeah, it does make the legend of the gold seem more believable. The so-called witch's gold that revived the Ushiromiya family weighed 10 tons. Maybe that's sleeping somewhere, ready to be turned over to whoever can solve grandfather's riddle. Maybe that's why he did it. Huh, I guess that sounds like grandfather's style or something. If that's true, it's pretty incredible. The epitaph carved into the plate was very mysterious, with something like a poem or a song written on it. The text was incredibly disturbing, filled with the signs of grandfather's black magic hobby, and its contents were in truly bad taste. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle, which, if solved, might lead to the hidden gold. Whether that's what he intended or not, I can't imagine that his true motive might have been All we know for sure is that grandfather put this shady epitaph so that everyone in the family could see it. We also know that he's hinted at the existence of a gold without ever telling anyone where it might be hidden, at least so far. These facts are embellished by the imaginations of our parents, who were convinced that grandfather was challenging us to a battle of wits. Sounds like my dad, so greedy that he'd take something just like this so seriously. He may laugh at grandfather's black magic obsession, but he'd still believe this story about the hidden gold. It just sounds so good. Well, it's certainly not a realistic story. At that time, when grandfather was still nameless and had no connections, there was no way anyone could just lend him a massive quantity of gold bars for free. If such a person actually did exist, it's not unthinkable that grandfather would call such a sponsor a witch. Yeah, but it's 10 tons. 10 tons! If you cash that in, how much would it come to? I mean, it'd have to be a ridiculous amount, right? It certainly would be a ridiculous amount. They say that the total amount of gold mined by humankind since the dawn of humanity is 100,000 metric tons at most. That's 1 of 10,000. Of all the gold humankind has obtained throughout history should belong to just one person is insane. On top of that, this witch supposedly has all that gold collected in one place and was able to lend it to grandfather just like that. We're not talking about any ordinary person. Well, to me, that 10 tons number seems pretty fishy. After all, no one's actually seen it except grandfather, right? Even if we assume that some generous witch existed and lent him some gold, maybe it was closer to 10 kilograms than 10 tons. Even 10 kilograms would be a pretty incredible sum, right? Doo-doo! 10 kilograms of gold is how much? Maria, who wasn't following the story and felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask us a question. It was a question I also wanted to answer right then. Whether it was 10 kilograms or 10 tons, it still felt like a huge amount, but I had no idea exactly how huge. George Aniki folded his arms and tried to remember the market price of gold. Well, even the value of gold is affected by the market, and the value of physical gold can change depending on its purity and the trustworthiness of the foundry. You'd also need to pay handling fees to cash it in. However, that doesn't change the fact that it's a precious metal, and some people estimate that humanity will mine all the world's gold in half a century if gold mining continues at its current rate. Just guessing haphazardly. I think you could expect a price of about 2 million yen per kilogram. Whoa! Just now, I randomly said 10 kilograms since it sounded smaller, but even that would be worth 20 million yen, wouldn't it? Oh my god. I weigh 28 kilograms. Which means if we had Maria-chan's weight in gold, we would estimate over about 50 million yen. That's just unbelievable. How much could 10 tons be then? 10 kilograms is 20 million yen, which you multiply by 1,000, so, huh? 20 billion yen? What the hell? How much is 20 billion yen actually worth? We can only measure in relative to our own pocketbooks. Anyway, let's say that a person's wages over a lifetime are about 200 million yen. You grow up and work like crazy, sacrificing your life for your company, and you're finally freed as you approach old age. Everything including retirement money might add to up to about 200 million yen. In other words, that's the amount of money that will be made throughout a human's life. No, you couldn't even call that, you could even call it the value of a life. So, 100 times that sum is an unbelievable amount of money. If you work from age 20 to 60, that's 40 years of work, so it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. If you worked every day starting from the Jomon period, you'd only reach that number about now.
Voodoo, it's 20 billion yen a lot?
Heck yeah, it's a lot. Maria, if you love you love shortcake, right? You could buy one more shortcake than you could possibly eat for the rest of your life. However, while that might be possible with 20 billion yen in cash, I don't think it would be very realistic to have that much in gold bars all in one place. Just as I said, gold is extremely heavy, so it isn't exactly convenient as a method of storing wealth. Sure, you could imagine someone gathering their fortune together as incredibly high-value stocks or precious gems. You often hear of people who traded their wealth for precious gems so that they could carry it around with them during the chaotic times of the war. You don't usually hear stories of people exchanging their wealth for gold.
It may be heavy, but it's the most trusted and stable form of wealth internationally, so maybe that's why it was important? For example, bonds are just scraps of paper. Scraps of paper and the whole country goes under.
You can also look at it that way. But even one 10-kilogram ingot is pretty heavy to carry around. Haven't you heard? A 50-kilogram person can't carry a 50-kilogram bag over their shoulder. With that many gold bars, the amount of labor and risk for one person would be hard to calculate. So what you're saying is, well, it'd be one thing if you had a stack of banknotes worth 20 billion yen. 20 billion yen in gold would be such a big mountain that it'd be practically kind of pointless. That's right. Although, the legend of gold seems to have a pretty interesting ring to it. Just the part about the 10 tons of gold makes it pretty much impossible.
You think about it logically like that, and it sounds obviously fake. Kinda brings you back down to reality.
Anyway, that's grandfather for you. Maybe he exaggerated the story of how some kind, wealthy person gave him a loan by saying that he got 10 tons of gold from a witch. Even the number 10 tons feels pretty symbolic. You mean like his gratitude for the money he borrowed was worth 10 tons of gold or something?
Maybe some rich man leisures.
Oh my god, I can't fucking read. I spend my life looking at screens and I can't fucking read.
Some rich man's leisured wife generously granted it to a grandfather, and maybe he started calling this person a witch.
I see. Jessica's example isn't bad. Someone who generously lent a huge sum of money to grandfather when he still had no reputation might as well be called a witch. Furthermore, grandfather actually did use that money to build a vast amount of wealth later on. The fact that this person was so great at judging people might also justify calling her a witch. Also, since she went to the trouble of lending all that money, she might have enthusiastically overseen how it was spent. The decision to unexpectedly get involved with the occupying forces and the profit from the Korean War demands might have been inspired by the witch herself. That might explain why he claimed to have received both wealth and honor from her. I see. We've been in this room for an hour now. Can we please leave? So in other words, This witch lent grandfather the funds necessary to revive the Ushirimiya family. He owed her big time. And then, he felt so grateful they had a huge painting drawn and displayed. Yeah, it's not that crazy a story.
It's even possible this person was an old granny who looked like a witch. Maybe grandfather idolized her, and that's why he had her drawn to look so beautiful. I bet if we ever did meet this person, she wouldn't nearly be this pretty.
That's possible. The name Beatrice sounds pretty Western, and if you think about how everyone in our family has Western names, maybe even the name Beatrice is a result of grandfather trying to rearrange some Japanese person's name to make it sound Western.
I get it.
Oh, that's not her. I get it. That means this pretty girl doesn't exist outside the picture. Guess that means I won't be able to rub— oh my god. Oh me, I wanna rub those elegant breasts. Ha 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 ha. What a normal character. I get it. I mean, I already read this. In the first place, isn't having a witch pretty bizarre by itself? Like, you could find something like that anywhere on Earth. I laughed and made fun of the witch, trying to distinguish myself from the kid I was 6 years ago who feared the witch of the forest, when Maria tugged on my sleeve. I could tell by how hard she pulled that she was a bit upset. Huh? What is it, Maria?
Who knew? Beatrice exists!
Maria stared up at me. She had her usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry by the color of her eyes.
Witches exist! Witches exist!
Well, sure they exist. I mean, if you turn the TV on and watch anime or something.
Exist! Witches exist!
I started getting impatient, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Then Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and whispered,
Dumbass, you're smashing a kid's dream. Maria really believes things like witches and Beatrice exist.
Come to think of it, Maria-chan, in social studies at school, you were asked to write what you wanted to be when you grew up. You wrote a witch, didn't you? Maria nodded seriously. Tears started to run from the corners of her eyes. I see. To a girl who wants to become a witch in the future, the existence of Beatrice was proof that witches do exist in this world, and was therefore an image she yearned after and admired.
Exist! Exist! Witches exist! But Battler still doesn't believe.
It's okay. Witches do exist. I believe it. George and Nikki kneeled down and hugged Maria's head. Watching this, Jessica poked at my side. So that's what this is. It's like shouting that Santa Claus doesn't exist in front of a child who believes on him on Christmas Eve. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make fun of your dreams, so I apologize. Beatrice does exist. Even now, she's living in the forest and comes to the mansion every night to peek in and see what everyone's doing. So, you shouldn't go into the forest. At night, you mustn't stare into the dark forest. You might be seen by the witch of the forest, Beatrice. After all, grandmother said so.
Really? Battler really believes?
Yep, I believe. Sorry for doubting it. Come on, let's wake up. I stuck out my hand, Maria grabbed it with her little tiny hand, her fucking baby hand, and I crushed it and I turned it into a dust. And then we made up. Maria didn't grumble anymore after that, so George, Nikki, and Jessica were relieved. They left. Oh my god, thank god. Oh no, not another girl voice, please.
Oh. Oh. So, this is where all of you were. I'm sure you had just left to go out to the beach.
Shannon-chan, carrying a basket, was surprised to find us all gathered in front of the portrait.
Ha, Shannon! Well, this is the first time—
Shannon, I'm gonna say Shannon. That's the one I fucking heard for 120 hours.
Shannon. Well, this is the first time Battler has seen Beatrice's portrait. He just was fascinated by it. That's right. It certainly is fascinating. Beatrice-sama is truly beautiful. I'm sure that she captivated the master.
In addition to the patron theory, there's also a theory that she was grandfather's first love. Either way, although it's been several decades since he met her, even now she holds a special heart, which must mean that he's still captivated by her. Wow. Sheesh. That must have made grandmother pretty jealous, huh?
I'm not really sure, but that might actually be true. Apparently grandmother believed he was cheating with some blonde.
That's a little awkward, isn't Jessica?
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Doo-doo! Good smell! Good smell coming from Shannon!
Maria, sniffing, approached the basket Shannon-chan was holding with interest. After hearing that, I noticed a fragrant scent with a touch of vanilla.
Ah, I apologize. I was told by Kumasawa-san to bring them in to everyone.
What is it, I wonder? Oh, excellent! Cookies!
Doo-doo! Wanna eat some cookies! Wanna eat cookies! Please, eat as much as you like. But,
Would it be appropriate to serve cookies in a place like this? In front of the portrait? I might be a little jealous. Shannon-chan sent us a glance that seemed to ask what we wanted to do about it. Well, yeah, guess eating here would be bad manners, generally speaking.
Maria, why don't we eat someplace else? Let's put the cookies in a bento and have a picnic. Doo-doo! Have a picnic! Have a picnic! If we can eat cookies, let's go!
Yeah, let's get some fresh air. We shouldn't stuff ourselves right in front of the witch.
That's right. Didn't we say that we wanted to go down to the beach in the first place? Let's go! Let's go!
Shannon-chan. Sorry, but could I ask you to get us a blanket and sit on and some flask of tea?
Right. Certainly. I talk like this all the time, and I have the punch of a small toddler.
Shannon-chan received her instructions gracefully bowed before retracing her steps. We headed to the beach on our own. Wow, I got through that line, no problem. Everyone headed back to the entrance in a group. Everyone headed for the entrance in a group. Feeling as though that witch was staring down at our backs, I turned around once more.
Doo-doo! Battler, you still don't believe?
Nope, I believe. It'd just be so much cooler that way. The Golden Witch, Beatrice, gave grandfather 10 tons of gold. And that gold might be sleeping around here somewhere. Besides, didn't grandfather write that strange epitaph as though challenging us to find it if we can? I'd say that kind of adventurous story was way better.
20 billion yen worth of gold, huh? Even if we split it up between the four of us, that's still a ridiculous amount of money.
5 billion yen for each of us. Incredible. With that kind of money, you could probably make any sort of business prosper. In fact, we could live our whole lives fabulously without working at all.
Doo-doo! I don't want 5 billion yen. I want cookies!
Cookies! Maria would take cookies over money. Still, 5 billion yen. That's like a dream. Cookies. Hell's Halls. Oh my god, not these fucking people. Ridiculous. Is it possible you all truly believe in Father's legend of gold? Of course, we don't believe that story about a witch giving gold. But there's no mistake about the gold itself.
The fact that Father obtained gold bars from an unknown source has been confirmed in several ways. We've heard that, before the president of Maruso Company died, Father showed him a large pile of gold somewhere. Father used that man's claim as proof that there were 10 tons worth.
That's just nonsense of a senile old man. Along with Father, he was just fabricating a story. You can't take it seriously. If that gold didn't exist, he wouldn't have been able to gather so much funding. How many fucking times do I have to redo this guy's voice? That gold didn't... I'll just keep going. You know, I'll fucking figure it out. If that gold didn't exist, he wouldn't have been able to gather so much funding. Before the president died, he was a person with such a sincere personality that he earned the respect of many in the business world. He wouldn't have become a partner to such fraud. That's not his fucking voice I gave him. Aniki, the president of Maruso definitely saw it. 10 tons of it, clearly with his own eyes. Even more, Dad let the president take one ingot at random and have it examined. The results of the examination showed that the 10-kilogram ingot was 99.99% pure. He said that the Ushiramiya family crest, the one-winged angel, the one-winged eagle was imprinted on it.
Almost instantly, the Ushiramiya legend of gold spread amongst the fixers of the business world. Gold from unknown foundry was a poor rate of conversion into money. Thinking that was a chance for decisive profits, they accepted it as collateral, and as a result, Father was able to receive massive loans.
Is there no limit to the absurdity you're willing to accept? How old are you people? Are you still taking that nursery tale you've heard as children seriously? Where's the proof that this 10 tons of gold even exists? Or are you just parroting the lies of Father, a few of those close to him? Of course it's just a story. But still, Aniki, the amount of money Dad raised required a suitable amount of collateral. Even if the gold itself was just a rumor, it's undoubtable that the fact that he showed the treasure was of comparable worth. It was just an illusion of money created by your own penniless father. He acted as though he actually had gold that didn't exist, fooling his sponsors. It was probably the gamble of a lifetime. Luckily, his use of those funds proved successful. If the Korean War demands hadn't come in and the Ushiramiya family had not been restored, Father would have probably been hounded after the crook of a century. So, are you saying that the gold never exists and Father made it up? That's his voice now. Of course. And because of that, the illusion of gold became a mere inconvenience once he achieved enough success. That's why later on, Father added about the witch and black magic, weakening the credibility of the entire story. In other words, he revealed the illusion of the gold was a fabrication. If he claimed to have received the gold from a witch, no one could believe that it existed at all, right? It's also possible he said it for all of your sakes. Nevertheless, here comes some stupid offspring wanting to divide up this non-existent gold, along with the rest of the inheritance. Whoa. Rosa, don't tell me that even you believe in a fabrication like this. Oh, what fucking voice am I doing for her?
I can't prove whether or not Father really had gold. I just want to claim my rightful share, as one of Father's 4 children.
Oh, it seems even you have started to talk that way, Rosa. I see. That's what you're getting at. You're trying to claim that I'm attempting to keep all the gold for myself.
Nissan, you've gathered a massive supply of funds, that's a fact. If we rule out the possibility that you've been embezzling Father's personal funds, then there's only one possibility left, right?
Aniki, we've been thinking. You might have found these 10 tons of gold bars. Ridiculous. Such a thing never existed in the first place.
And explain yourself. Was it in the embezzlement of Father's assets or Father's hidden gold? How could you have gathered so much funding if not by one of these methods?
Even if I had many friends in the political and financial realms, even I, fucking damn, I've earned their cooperation, nothing more. And on that matter, I have no responsibility to explain myself to you. You understand, don't you? There are some topics that ought not to be spoken of. If you insist on that point, that's all well and good for now. But Aniki, Dad doesn't have long. Nobody can ensure that he'll live to see the next day this year. This day next year. The inheritance process will begin at the instant of Dad's death. We'll arrange for lawyers and accountants who are impartial to all of us and have them inspect Dad's financial situation.
At that time, if it comes to light that you've been unjustly interfered with Father's money, you understand, right?
I don't have any clue what you're talking about.
That's really suspicious. Burping? It's a telltale lie.
You're starting to make me feel as indignant as my wife was. Of course, Father's gold is part of Father's fortune. We understand it's money you can't reveal openly, but the 4 siblings should have had an equal right to it. In other words, we're gonna have your financial situation investigated as well as Dad's.
To determine whether you're hoarding the gold or not. Isn't it a great opportunity? Right now, prove the existence of your so-called support from friends and acquaintances. That way we can supportingly apologize for foolishly doubting you. Right, Rosa? That's right. Cross Nissan, you're the one who's dodging the issue. If you were guiltless, you could just prove that you were in the right, but you aren't even trying to do so.
However, Aniki, we still have to consider your position here. As Dad's representative, you're probably bearing a larger share of burden than we are. We've been living terribly relaxed lives until now, so it wouldn't be fair for the rest of us to complain without taking your efforts into account. Oh? You're a hoe. It seems you cannot make up your mind whether you flatter me or slander me. Please, get to the point. Basically, randomly investigating nitpicky aspects of Father's wealth seems like a pretty crude way to go about it. As you said, Cross Nissan, there may have been movements of money that were difficult to explain. We've come to consult with you this today while fully aware of that point. Both sides stand to gain from talking about this now. A consultation. Oh. When the inheritance is divided, you'll be rewarded for your years of hard work taking care of Dad by an agreement that's generous in your favor.
Don't misunderstand us, Nissan. We aren't saying that we'll abandon our rights. But when we make our claim for what we deserve, we might as well offer a generous understanding for your position. That's what we mean.
In other words, if you accept our conditions, then when the inheritance is divided, we'll leave the investigation of Father's financial situation to you, Kraus Nissan. All the siblings from Ava downward suspected that Kraus was trying to steal their father's wealth. So, letting Kraus report the state of that wealth was extremely contradictory and a huge concession. If, as they had claimed, Kraus was actually embezzling money, Kraus would be able to hide that fact. Besides which, it would be possible for him to control the distribution of the inheritance in a manner favorable to himself. Kraus, realizing that this sounded too good to be true, couldn't help but feel suspicious. He couldn't help but worry what they'd ask for in exchange. Oh. Stop saying that. Ho ho ho. Santa Claus? After misunderstanding, misdemeanor, after mistrusting me completely, now you say that you're willing, you now say that you're willing to restore your confidence in me as the eldest sibling? So, what is it you want me in return? Just what we deserve as siblings. You aren't the kind of person who'd steal Dad's property. You also aren't the kind to be financed by some patron. Considering all that, there's a certain explanation that would satisfy the rest of us.
Nissan, you found 10 tons of gold, and used that as collateral to gather some funding. Yes, just like Father did in the past, right?
Stop saying right. If that's the case, then there won't be any more funny business in Father's finances. You've always been a good son, looking after Father. Why does his voice keep changing? Why do we mistrust a person like that? You're being so roundabout. I can hardly understand you. Please speak clearer and more practical. Please speak in clearer and more practical terms. Our first condition, Aniki, you must admit that you found Dad's gold. Are you asking me to admit I possess gold that doesn't exist?
Our second condition, you'll acknowledge that each sibling has a right to a share of the gold, and you will pay out those shares.
How foolish. With that non-existent 20 billion yen of gold, that would be 5 billion yen per person. Are you telling me to pay you a total of 15 billion yen? Ridiculous. Keep listening to the end. We know how much money can't just pop out of nowhere. We're not asking you to make the impossible deal. Of course, regarding the proportions of the gold, we plan to reward you plenty for your hard work until now.
Our third condition, the portion of the gold to the one bearing the title of successor to the Ushiramiya head family will be 50%. The remainder will be considered the fair share of his siblings and divided up. Of course, this also includes you, Kraus Nissan.
Of the 20 billion, 12.5 billion will go to Aniki, 2.5 will go to Ava Nason, 2.5 will go to me, and 2.5 will go to Rosa. That division scheme makes me so grateful I could cry. So you're saying, for the sake of a gold that doesn't exist, I must pay you 7.5 billion yen.
What's wrong? Nissan, your share is 5 times the share of ours. These are such good terms, I'd be jumping for joy.
Our fourth condition. The gold will be liquidated and distributed along with the inheritance at the time of father's death. However, as a deposit, 10% of our portions will be paid to us promptly. These payments must be made before March of next year. What do you think, Krasny-san? This is an ideal chance for you to restore the trust regarding your handling of father's assets, isn't it? Of course, it might be impossible to get the whole 7.5 before father dies, but it would be possible for you to manage to deposit 750 million, right? Dun-dun-dun. Paying 700 million in half a year might sound like a pain. But you should be able to manage it, well, with your friends in the political and business spheres.
Normally, we'd hope to receive the 7.5 billion right now all at once. But out of a concern for you, we'll show our sincerity by asking for only 10% of that for the time being. The remaining 90% can wait until the inheritance is distributed. See? Even you'd be capable of managing a mere 10% to show your sincerity.
So, you're telling me to sell the right to the assets father... Whoa, you're trying to sell me the right to assess father's financial situation for 75 million yen? How impressive. You all certainly have grown. To think, I'm now the one being offered deals.
Nissan, if you accept these terms, the rest of us siblings will leave the investigation of father's assets to you. However, the results of that investigation will be subject to scrutiny. It's only natural, right? We'd be so sad if you managed to manage things so that our 7.5 billion share shrank.
We'll avoid complaining, as a general rule. Just make sure you do it neat and tidy. As long as you don't try anything that's blatantly obvious. We've got no intention of stirring things up. We want our inheritance quickly too. We don't want to get it all drawn out and left hanging. If a complaint is made, who would carry out the follow-up investigation?
We don't mind if it's you. This is probably the first and last chance for us siblings to reach a consensus. I believe it won't come to that. Looks like even you try to speak up now and then, Rosa. Fuck.
By this point, it's obvious that Kraus wasn't at all trusted as the oldest sibling, so there's no need to go into detail. Oh my god, I need a fucking breath mint or something. I need a fucking lobby. I read some line that if your voice starts to hurt when you've been streaming, just pop a fucking lemon thing or something, and I'm like, hey, I got these cough drops. Oh fuck, man. So, damn. Now I have to fucking talk like this, though. Okay. Kinda want more water. I don't have any. So, you know what? I'm gonna do a quick BRB. Quick. So fucking quick. I have to get water. I mean, it's like my throat is bone dry. Bone. Just stay with the ambient sounds. I don't know. Just stay there. I'll be right back. I'll even leave the mic on. I don't care. Bye. No one's here, but I'm here. Don't worry about it. Got some fucking water. It helps. It helps so much you don't even understand. One sip and I was like, yes. I feel fucking reborn. I feel renewed. Thank God. Okay. The formerly tyrannical oldest brother had always abused his privileges and violated the other siblings' shares. He's such a fucking bitch. It was in response to this that the other three, now adults, were finally teaming up and striking back for the first time. Does it sound like I have something in my mouth? Because I sure fucking do. Sorry, but there's more. Our fifth condition. This decision must take the precedent over Father's will. Later on, we want some will to appear to make this decision completely irrelevant. I see that you're very cautious. Now let me ask, if the gold really were found, what would you do? Huh? Since you'll be making payments, the gold worth? Since you'll be making payments to us for what the gold's worth, the rest of us really don't care if we ever get to see the gold or not. You can think of our share as an advance payment.
It's good to have dreams, isn't it? You plan to turn this island into a resort, right? You might stumble upon the gold by chance during construction.
Ava let out a high-pitched laugh. Ha ha ha. Rouse watched, but he didn't even flinch. Let me add a seventh condition before I accept. In the situation that any sibling other myself finds the gold, they will immediately turn it over to me.
Yes, yes, of course. We'll hold on to it for you.
It was a play on words. Of course, the others who were forcing Kraus to pay money for some non-existent gold wouldn't save Kraus's portion if they actually found it. From the beginning, this deal had been nothing more than a threat directed at Kraus. Regardless of the actual facts, it was still extremely likely that Kraus was embezzling his father's assets. It's really hard to fucking talk with one of these things in your mouth. When Kinzo faced death at last and had his inheritance distributed, some unpleasant facts would surely come to light. I gotta stand up and crack my back. Crack. That could easily become cradle to Faust. The others had spotted this weak point, were threatening their brother under the veil of compromise, trying to wring a huge sum of money out of him. However, they had forgotten one thing. They had forgotten that their brother's brain moved so swiftly, at least when it came to cunning and guile, that they'd been forced to band together to combat him. While Eva couldn't stop smiling, sure of her victory, Kraus let out a gloating laugh to show how relaxed he was. Ha ha ha. Ha. This all makes such a touching story. My estrangement from you all has left a deep pain in my heart. If accepting these conditions means that we siblings can become friends again, it would please me to no end. I'd be happy to agree to your deal. Rejoice, Rosa. We have reached an understanding. Rosa's expression dimmed. It was never a good sign when her brother started talking like this. Ava also keenly picked up on this. That's why she was unable to wipe away a sense of unease, even though Kraus had obediently accepted the deal.
My, how obedient you are. It's not like you at all, Nissan.
What a cruel thing to say. Are you implying that I have some ulterior motive? Of course I don't. I'm just the same as all of you. Just the same as all of you. He seemed to emphasize that, not just that one part. The color of Rudolph's face darkened. It sounded as though Kraus was saying, I have a plan similar to yours. So Rudolph panicked. He rushed to bring his nearly resolved discussion to a conclusion. Then we're good. So, Aniki, would you mind signing here? This is a written contract summarizing the discussion we have been having. There's one for each of us. Everyone will sign the same contents. Rudolph took 4 written contracts out of his breast pocket that had the details of the deal written on it. The 7th condition you proposed will, of course, be added right now. And don't worry about that. Aniki, Need a pen. Rudolph took a fountain pen out of his breast pocket and offered it to Kraus. Kraus made as if to accept it, but then, with a small laugh, he drew back his hand without taking it and spoke. Actually, in order to ensure that this agreement is properly executed, I'd like to propose an amendment on just one point. As soon as Kraus said that single sentence, all of the siblings felt as though something ominous was creeping up their backs at the same time.
That won't do. We've already decided, haven't we? Just stay quiet and sign it.
Why are you in such a hurry, Ava? Of course I'll sign. I promise a share of the gold going to all of you will be 7.5 billion yen. I also promise that, when Father's inheritance is distributed, I will clearly and neatly liquidate it. However, there's one point that I simply must insist that you compromise on. What are you talking about? What don't you like? The part about promptly paying 10% of your share. 750 million yen. As you pointed out, my financial situation is far from prosperous. While I can guarantee that I will collect on various future investments, I must admit that I am quite poor at the present moment. In short, I have absolutely no money that I can move around right now. I am incompetent, and my business sense is dull. Since I am the loser you all claim me to be, I don't have the power to move 750 million yen in half a year.
That can't be true. Are you trying to deceive us with such a half-baked trick?
At the time of the division of the inheritance, I will liquidate everything at once. Remove the condition I must pay you 10% in advance. That is the only condition under which I am willing to sign. Jasni-san, that 10% is nothing more than a number to measure your sincerity, isn't it? All things being equal, you shouldn't have any room to negotiate at all. We're doing you a huge favor by offering you to let you things slide just 10% apart. Now that we've explained it, you rejecting our offer seems seriously damaging our trust and relationship, right?
Hideyoshi had a humble expression on his face and was rubbing his hands together.
But his eyes weren't calm at all. Kraus had already seen through the shadow in the depths of those eyes. Are you all in such a rush? Or could it be that you're afraid of something? Rosa, won't you tell me alone? Secretly, so the rest of the siblings can't hear?
It's not as though I...
Quit it, Aniki. We're all asking whether you're gonna sign it or not. Just forget about making any strange deals or any other suspicious moves. Oh. You say I have no room to negotiate? Are you trying to claim that I am in the weak position, which therefore puts me in an unequal relationship? Shivers began to crawl up Rudolph's back. He began to feel himself getting overwhelmed by the height of his brother's completely insurmountable wall, and the long shadow that existed since they were children. Shouldn't deals be made between those on even footings? From my perspective, this deal will help restore the long-lost trust of my younger siblings and deepen the love between us. It's an old problem that's been eating at me, and one I would prefer to resolve as soon as possible. I would be overjoyed if we could resolve it today. However, it seems I'm not the only one who's been quite glad to close this deal quickly. Am I wrong? Kraus stared at each of his siblings. They avoided his gaze with animal-like instinct. At least we're out of the fucking parlor looking at that painting. Only Hideyoshi was slow in avoiding it, till he was caught by Kraus's gaze. Hideyoshi-san, I hear your company has been doing extremely well lately. At a brisk pace it went public, and both its track record and its stock prices have soared. I am truly jealous.
We aren't here to talk about my husband.
However, it is uncomfortable that you have neglected your stockholders. It's even more unfortunate that you were unable to solidify your base when you became stock listed. Before you realized it, some bad-natured colleagues of yours have brought up a huge share of your company's stock, right? How could you know about that? The same way you knew about me. If it's possible to collect evidence providing that no one would offer a loan to me, it's possible for me to collect evidence on you. Is it really so unexpected as that? Kraus grinned blubly. In contrast, Hideyoshi's face was rapidly turning pale. Hideyoshi's company was a restaurant chain management company that he'd been started from nothing. Thanks to Hideyoshi's management efforts, the company had achieved success repeatedly, expanding its range. In a petition to make it look like a stock-listed company had recently succeeded. The greatest advantage of being in a stockholding system is that you can sell stock certifications and a large amount of financing. To gain a large amount of financing, the amount tends to be far greater than a business's normal profits. So this is an extremely effective way to gather massive funds to expand a business even further. However, in exchange for financing the company, stockholders gain certain rights. They're given rights that allow them to observe and guide the company that they've invested in, leading to profits even greater than their original investments. This right is guaranteed to the stockholders, and they sometimes use it to dismiss ineffectual management. The right allows them to keep an eye on the management and prevent the money they've invested in the company from going to waste. However, if they use it forcibly, they can eject the former management and take over the company. After all, dismissing management and nominating new management are powers held by the general body of all shareholders. That power is determined by the majority decision of the stockholders, and people who hold more stock get to cast more votes. In other words, if some person or group holds a majority of the stock, they can freely chase out the old management and make the president anyone they'd like. If they want, it's possible for them to make themselves president. Most companies take various defense measures to stop malicious people from buying up their stock and threatening their position. Like ensuring lots of stock is bought up by those close to them, such as company employees. However, Hideyoshi's company has only recently become stock listed, and he hadn't had time to strengthen those defensive measures. Or maybe, Hideyoshi was so engrossed in the management of his company, they couldn't probably understand the dangers of being stock listed. It's hard to say whether he should be viewed as a kind-hearted manager and immersed in the work management, or a foolish manager who had his feet swept out from under him. In other words, there existed some people who wouldn't let him get away with that naively unscathed. They began repeatedly buying up stock in Hideyoshi's company, rapidly gaining such strength that they couldn't be ignored. Then they sent anonymous documents to the shareholders in an attempt to gain control of a majority. The documents read, the current management continues to make pointless investments and is ignoring the needs of the stockholders. Let us force the current management to retire, cut the current wasted investments, and let this company be born again as the one that gives more back to the stockholders. It's very difficult to make the actual state of a company's management known. The fruits of Hideyoshi's sleepless nights and constant concern for his company were cruelly distorted. He lost the trust of the stockholders. Thanks to these efforts, this group had almost collected a majority of all the company's stock. At that point, even Hideyoshi noticed and started to buy back the stock, but the stockholders realized that the company was undergoing an acquisition maneuver, and each demanded a ridiculous price for the shares that Hideyoshi was trying to buy back. They continually tortured Hideyoshi, who had no leeway in the negotiation of the price. One of the certainties of capitalism is that the price will rise when two parties vie for the same thing. And one of the certainties of democracy is that majority controls everything. So in the end, whoever manages to buy up the most stock wins. But another way, whoever has the most money wins. Unless Hideyoshi could obtain a large sum of money at this critical time, he could easily lose all he had built up so far. Therefore, more than anything else, he wanted a lot of money right now. He couldn't wait for the division of Kinzo's inheritance, since no one knew when he would die. They knew Rudolph had been in quite a troublesome trouble lately, haven't you? You always hear people say it's terrifying overseas, but it seems it really is true. American trials are settled quite emotionally. They never hand down generous judgments to foreigners. Weren't you advised by your lawyer that making a settlement for the other party would be more economical in the long run?
What is all this about?
Well, it's just some trouble from work. No big deal. Nothing you can't settle with money. Kyrie immediately guessed at the meaning behind the subtle expression of Rudolph's face. Her husband had gotten wrapped up in some kind of trouble without her knowledge, and been working over it alone. That's right. In this world, anything can be settled with money. After all, it can even buy back the broken bonds between siblings. America is very fussy about the violation of rights. But with money, anything can be settled. Long live capitalism. No, rumor has it the settlement of money can be as high as several $1,000,000. Rudolph had been building a large amount of wealth with a certain type of niche industry. Oh my god, one sec. However, a niche is a niche, so it definitely wasn't a business exposed to the light of day. No, okay, I can go up high. That's good. An American corporate giant was trying to accuse Rudolph's company of violating their rights. For various reasons, it was thought that victory for Rudolph in this trial would be extremely unlikely, and he was being forced into an all-out surrender. But even so, there was a way for this to be resolved with money. If he could just pay the money, it might be still painful, but he'd be able to pick himself back up. But if he didn't pay, he'd lose everything. Therefore, more than anything else, he wanted a lot of money right now. Rosa, you're a good, noble little sister. You wouldn't even touch a dangerous money game. However, your soft-hearted nature was your ruin, wasn't it? I wouldn't think one should agree to become a co-signer so lightly.
That's none of your business, Kraus-Nissan.
Rosa uncharacteristically laid bare her emotion and yelled. After all, no one was supposed to know that. As Kraus watched, he let slip a muffled laugh. Without exception, every one of them, more than anything else, wanted a lot of money right now. In other words, the situation had been reversed. After all, the person the younger sibling were threatening was the only one who had no urgent need for a large sum of money. The other three, however, wanted a lot of money quickly, no matter the cost. In other words, the longer it took to establish the deal, the better the position something. Kraus was extremely sly. I would say. Kraus would be in. He had known their Achilles' heel from the beginning. Even so, he had not been certain. Therefore, he had hidden his knowledge until the very end, striking back only after analyzing their attitudes. If it were possible, I would like nothing more than to raise some of the money for my adorable siblings in their time of need. But unfortunately, I have nothing on hand. If you know any of sponsors that might be able to raise a whole 750 million yen, I suggest you try there first. Kraus's elated words were so obviously detached from what he actually felt. The other siblings could do nothing more than listen, grinding their teeth. If they could think of a sponsor that convenient, they wouldn't have kept up the charade. They had entered this huge battle specifically because they had all exhausted all their other options. However, if you do insist on relying on your big brother, I wouldn't mind using my influence to help you find such a sponsor. Oh, wait, I do believe I said that I have no influence. Well then, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Fucking bitch. It's fucking dick. You fucking laughs like a little, like, schoolgirl, but like, Kraus's low, gloating laugh began to fill the parlor. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The younger siblings, who had been driving the oldest brother into a corner until a moment ago, could do nothing but more than grimace and grind their teeth. Ava, don't make me laugh. As if I'd ever let you put myself in your debt. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
If we relied on you, how exactly would you help us?
I told you, didn't I? All I can do is find other sponsors for you. Of course, I'll negotiate. One sec. Of course, I will negotiate the highest interest rate possible. Damn you, taking advantage of us.
Honey, please calm down.
I am calm. I'm extremely cool, you bastard.
Yuri grabbed her husband's hand. But that action made him feel even more pitiful, so Rudolph shook it off.
Kraus laughed as though watching something highly amusing. In times like these, it certainly would be nice to find father's hidden gold. If you did, you could split it into 2.5 billion yen portions right now. How sad. How sad. How very sad. How extremely, totally, hopelessly sad. Tonight, let us all drink together as we solve the riddle of Beatrice's epitaph and discover the location of father's hidden gold. If we four friendly siblings work together, there is surely no puzzle we can't solve. Gonna look at the cousins now. Rose. No, not him. I don't want to do his voice. Quite an entertaining scheme. Well then, what are the conditions they've attached?
Well, whether or not Kraus-sama actually discovers the gold, he'll pay Eva-sama, Rudolph-sama, and Rosa-sama a total of 7.5 billion yen for their shares. However, 10% of that will be paid before March. Thank you, God, for putting Canon in this scene. He is so close to my normal range. Thank you, fuck.
Kraus, you dunce. To think he would have his feet swept out from under him by his younger siblings. Truly amusing. But it sounds as though they tripped when they were going for the kill, yes?
Yes. Kraus-sama exposed the fact that Eva-sama and the younger siblings have all urgent need to get money.
Is there any need to expose such obvious facts? That irresolute, incompetent man. What are they doing now?
That conversation has been put on hold for the time being. Now, Beatrice-sama's epitaph is being discussed.
So they're trying to solve the riddle and find out where my gold is hidden?
Yes. Yes.
Kenzo set down his spectacles and snorted. I have no idea what voice I fucking gave Kenzo. Will the miracle be fulfilled first? Or will those fools expose the gold first? What a show this will be. At the moment those fools solve my puzzle, I will suffer utter defeat. They can suck my corpse down to the last fragment of bone. The greed of fools can allow great magic to bring forth a miracle. And yet, hidden fulfillment of miracle comes first. It comes first. Beatrice will be resurrected again. The smile I've been chasing half my life will be restored. Oh, Beatrice! Soon she will come with sacred night when we will put bet on a miracle, and the game of demons shall begin. I will surely prove triumphant and survive. I'll let sure you have all the lives of all those others. I don't need wealth or honor or assets or gold or anything. All I want is to see your smile one last time.
Kenzo choked, apparently in great pain. Kana got closer and tried to pat his master's back, but Kenzo motioned for him to stop.
Do you think I'm a bitch? Do you know why I went to the trouble of exposing the hidden location of the gold in the first place, that everyone can see?
No.
It is because magical power is determined by risk. If the number of people who try to discover Beatrice's gold is great, and the danger of them succeeding is great as well, then the power of magic will bring about a grand miracle if we succeed despite the odds. In other words, magic is a game. It is not the case that one who performs the best becomes the victor. The victor performs best because it was supposed.
Master, you're dying. There.
The victor performs the best because he has been granted magic. You see, It's similar to how the miracle of life can be granted only after winning against the divine odds of several 100,000,000 to 1. Is this a little difficult for you?
My apologies.
That's fine. It all comes down to this. I will give all I have built up to the one who solves the mystery of Beatrice's epitaph. Wealth, honor, gold, and the inheritance of Ushiyamiya family. Everything that I have established. My children certainly aren't the ones with the right to attempt to solve this riddle. Anyone who solves the riddle will have the right to gain everything. Even you.
Yes. However, I couldn't possibly understand such a difficult riddle.
Of course, I made it difficult. But you must try to solve it as well. That will form the seed that summons the miracle of my magic. If everyone attempts and everyone fails, that will be that. However, if the miracles come together and give birth to a magical power, it may happen, it will happen, Beatrice will revive. That is why you must attempt top two. Everyone must attempt it. And in doing so, they will give strength to my magic. Do you understand?
Yeah, kinda. Can I go? Yes. I will try. Thank God for Kanon. Thank fucking God for Kanon in any scene. For a long time, Kinzo repeatedly muttered to himself, agitated and clutching for his head. Kanon stayed there where he was, alert and unmoving, until he was given the next order from his master. Kinzo eventually realized this.
Very well. Leave me. There's a bag of sweets from the liquor cabinet. You can take some with you as a reward.
I'm fine. I'm not like 4 years old, man. I'm fine. After all, I am furniture.
So furniture doesn't eat sweets. Well, I suppose it stands to reason.
Master, you're drowning. Yes. Excuse me. Thank God for Kanon. Kanon bowed and left the study. As the door closed, a heavy locking noise sounded out. But it was not the sound of Kanon unlocking the door. It was the door locking automatically. No one could enter without Kinzo's permission, and once they left, they could not enter again. It was a mechanism that Kinzo, unable to trust his blood relatives, had created to seal himself up in his own study and isolate himself from the outside world. He was already unable to trust anyone excepting not the children who shared his blood, but those servants who called themselves furniture. Fuck, what was Genji's voice? Nanjo-sama, how are you feeling? I guess that's his voice now. Ah, Genji-san. Do you have the same voice as each other? Oh, it's just that there's no place for me to be anymore. With a bitter laugh, Nanjo turned to face the door to the parlor. That look was apparently enough to tell Genji what Nanjo wanted to say. For the most part, Genji also understood his family situation. Must have made him want to frown, knowing that right now in the lounge, the master was served was being discussed so disrespectfully. But it would have been difficult to gather that information from his indifferent expression. Still, I don't understand. Why did Kinzo-san have something so proactive written, I wonder? Nanjo looked at the portrait of Beatrice. No, he was actually directing his gaze beneath the portrait, at the plate of the epitaph. I do not presume to understand the master's thoughts. However, I'm sure he had a deep reason for doing so. Since long ago, when Kinzo-san played chess, he would always prepare his moves according to some far-reaching judgment. Yes, sometimes even to make moves I couldn't understand. For an average person like me, it was impossible to see through whatever it was he was planning. Sometimes I wonder if this might be some kind of will in the master's eyes. Perhaps he wishes to hand over his wealth and title to one who can understand it. So,
you're thinking he may have wanted 4 siblings to work together and solve the riddle, before some outsider like myself solved it. Kinzo-san may speak of his children in insulting terms, but perhaps he wants them to repair their relationship. It certainly would have been heartwarming if, as Nanjo had suggested, the half had been known to repair the siblings' relationship. However, both Nanjo and Genji knew that nothing could be more impossible than this. They'd known Kinzo longer than anyone, and Kinzo trusted them more than his own relatives. But even they could not guess his true motives. The master always says that everyone has the right to try and solve the riddle, even if they aren't a member of his family. What about you, Dr. Nanjo? No, it's a little too difficult to puzzle for this senile old man. Actually, I once wrote this epitaph down in my notebook. Night after night, I would try to solve it before going to sleep. But, haha, it really is hard. It looks like we might have to have some free time to try to relax and consider it before someone comes to get us. What do you say, Genji-san? I am nothing more than furniture in service to the master. Golden assets are unnecessary to me. My, you're very modest. I imagine that's why Kinzo-san trusts you so much. So, I am honored. Oh, wow. As Nanjo lightly laughed in response, he once again looked up at the epitaph. Behold, the sweet fish running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the Golden Land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. The epitaph of the portrait called My Beloved Witch Beatrice goes as follows.
Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the Golden Land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. As you travel down it, you will see a village. In that village, look for the shore of the two will tell you of. There sleeps the key to the Golden Land. The one who obtains the key must travel to the Golden Land in accordance with these rules. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close. On the third twilight, those who remain shall praise my noble name. On the fourth twilight, gouge the head and kill. On the fifth twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the sixth twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. On the 20th twilight, at journey's end, you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures once and for the last time. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. 1 shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. 1 shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. 1 shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. 1 shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch, Beatrice. Ding! Her eyes kind of fucked me up for a second. I thought they moved. I thought the eyes went whoa. Saturday, October 4th. Not the fucking beach. Can it just start typhooning? Wow, what a lovely day. So, on the 10th twilight, the journey ends. And you reach the Golden Land. You really are diligent, Maria. You did a good job writing all this down. I do! I forgot a lot, so I always write things down. Mama told me to do so.
There's a notebook inside the handbag Maria was always carrying around. Beatrice's epitaph was copied onto it. Thanks to that, we were all trying to challenge the puzzle of the epitaph while walking down on the beach. Jessica and the rest had already tried to solve it several times. I'd already gotten bored with it. However, since this was the first time for me, I was so excited that I couldn't stop. It really tickled my sense of adventure. Let's start with the first line. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. Where was grandfather's hometown again?
I heard that before the war, the Yoshimura family had a mansion near Odawara. Which makes you want to know which Sweetfish River flows through Odawara, right?
Yeah, because that river would be the starting place. Anyone searching for the Golden Land would head down the river in search of a key. What's this river in Odawara? Does it have a sweet fish swimming in it? If you're looking for sweet fish in Odawara, it had to be Hayakawa. It's famous for its mountain streaming fish.
Ooh, I hate fish.
Maria, you'll understand when you get a bit older. Lick, 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 salty rolled sweet fish, yummy! Even though we just ate, I'm getting hungry again.
Shall I bring you a biscuit? You want a Scooby snack?
Ruh-roh, huh? Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant, don't mind it. Shannon-chan was faithfully keeping us company, since she didn't have any afternoon chores for a while. I would have thought that since she's a servant, accompanying us would force her to take care of us. Accompanying us would force her to take care of us entire route, but that didn't seem to be the case for her. On the contrary, she seemed to enjoy joining in on conversation with people close to her age. When I asked, I heard that she was the sort of worker whose room and board were supplied by the employer. So normally, the only person close to her age was Jessica. Yeah, I can imagine how that would be pretty dull. Okay, so I get the sweet fish-filled river near Odawara is Hayakawa? In that case, we gotta go down it. Do you find anything if you head down the Hayakawa River?
If you follow it downstream, you'll arrive at the ocean.
Of course you'd reach the mouth of the river. And the third line of the epitaph is, as you travel down it, you will see a village. By the way, since long ago, the mouths of rivers have been key points for transportation, and large cities tend to be built there. That'd be the next checkpoint. That's a pretty good theory. Just like you guessed, there's an old city there that was very prosperous in ancient times. That's where Odawara Castle is.
I think I might have gone to Odawara Castle on this field trip once. It was really a wonderful castle.
Yeah, I also went there.
Even though I lived in a Western-style house, it's true that Japanese people feel calmer in it with a Japanese layout. Ew, castles are boring. Theme parks are better. Ew.
I see, okay. If we find the gold, the Great Battler Summon will generously reserve a whole theme park for a day and let you play in it. Still, Odawara Castle, huh? The hidden gold of Odawara Castle. Ho-ho! It's actually starting to sound pretty good.
Haha, well, we figured that much out 2 years ago. The village down the river where the sweet fish swim is Odawara. We'd figure it was probably somewhere near Odawara Castle. The problem is the next line. Okay, let's see where Battler's strange reasoning can take him. Jessica grinned proudly. She seemed to be implying that she would have solved the puzzle long ago if it was that easy. Damn it. I'll definitely find it and keep it all for myself. The fourth line. In the village. Look for the shore the two will tell you of. I don't know what it means by the two, but anyway, the shore. What does it mean by the shore? No, wait. Is there any place near there where shore or Ishi is in the name? I've heard of a place called Sokakishi in Odawara. Huh? Wow, you sure know a lot about it. What could that mean? Shannon-chan, are you trying to solve the riddle and get the gold too? That makes us rivals. It's not like I'm interested in gold. It's just that Lord-sama told me about it before. That's because we reached the same conclusion 2 years ago. We even went to the trouble of laying out a map and looking it up. It was about 5 kilometers in the north of Odawara. We definitely found a place called Sogakishi there. However, after that we get stuck. The fifth line doesn't say anywhere the key's hidden in that place. Maria-chan, could you read it for us? Voodoo! There sleeps the key to the Golden Land. Voodoo! I could read it! Sogakishi is probably large. Oh, how old is Maria, huh? Let's say. She could read it? Like, how old is she? Huh? Talking like a young child? I don't know, maybe she's like 12. Baby's first words. Ooh! Not much we can do if we can't find a key in such a vast area without knowing any hints. You're right. And without the key, we can't advance to the next line. George Niki, what kind of place is Sokakishi? Let's see.
I've never been there, so I don't really know, but according to the map, it's all in the mountains. Oh, you think Maria's 9? Dude, bro, thanks so much. A 9-year-old definitely wouldn't know how to read. You would think I would know that after reading this for 120 hours and doing a victory lap, but no. I'm pretty sure it was at the base of Mount Asama. Something doesn't feel right. You'd expect a riddle pointing the way to the hidden goal to be a bit more exact. I get the feeling that even the part about Sogakishi was a mistake.
Well, I think it could be Sogakishi. It could be talking about that same house that grandfather used to live in when he was a kid that we don't know about. After all, the first line mentioned his beloved hometown.
Whoa!
Shannon, you've served grandfather alcohol and stuff lots of times, right? Has he ever talked to you about his past? The master almost never speaks of the past. However, he talks of the Great Kanto earthquake as though it was someone else's story. So, maybe he was living far away from the Kanto area.
The Ushirama family may have been living in Odawara, but not all the branch's families were. Grandfather often called himself a part of the branch of a branch family, the least connected to the successor. And that means the beloved hometown might not even be Odawara after all.
I've never heard anything about grandfather's hometown. I thought he'd actually tell me if I asked. I doubt I can't read.
If the so-called beloved hometown isn't referring to the Ushiramiya family's roots, then Odawara theory is wrong from the beginning. Of course, this doesn't completely remove the possibility that it was Sogakishi. For example, perhaps he lived in Odawara when he was very young, but then moved far away later.
Voodoo! I don't understand what you're talking about. Voodoo?
Oh my god, please, stop. I can listen to it, but I can't say it all the time. Maria had been completely left out of the conversation, and she was now Sorry, I just had a flashback. She was now puffing out her cheeks in boredom. So basically, if we can't even agree on a starting point for this dice game of gold, we're totally stuck. But wait, after the first 5 lines, the thing we ended up finding is a key, right? Even if you don't have a key, it's always possible to bust through a door. We can't just skip the first 5 lines. Can't we just skip the first 5 lines and start figuring out from the rest?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh, well, we're just wasting time anyway. Let's hear the rest of Battler's reasoning. But in the next part, it gets dark really fast.
Shannon-chan frowned slightly. After looking back at Maria's notebook to recall what was written there, yeah, I was forced to agree. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. It sure does get horrible quickly.
On the second twilight, it says to tear apart the 2 who are close. Does that mean to make them break off their loving relationship? Or does it mean to literally tear them apart? I don't know, but either way it's pretty disgusting.
Even if we set the second line aside, it mentions 6 people for the first twilight. Then 5 people for the 4th twilight through 8 twilights. So at least 11 people must be sacrificed.
Voodoo! Their sacrifices are reviewed by Beatrice!
I see. Sacrifices to restore the witch. Yeah, that's what it'd mean. Near the end, the witch will be revived by the 12th night twilight. Oh fuck, man! The ninth twilight. Will be revived by the ninth twilight. That last part is guaranteed.
In the ninth twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. So everyone will die in the end.
And after all that, the 10th twilight is the goal line. Not sure how you're supposed to reach the Golden Land if everyone's dead by then. Depending on how you interpret it, the traveler who holds the key may or may not be included in the none shall be left alive part. But at the end, there's something pretty interesting. After reaching the goal, the witch gives out 4 treasures. 1 shall be all the gold. The problem is the next one. It says the dead souls will be resurrected, right? Doesn't that sound like it means everyone who died in the earlier lines?
If you put it like that, then the part about reviving lost love might refer to the pair torn apart on the second twilight.
That's right. and the fourth one refers to the ninth twilight. The fourth treasure is putting the witch that revived on the ninth twilight to sweep.
She's just a little sweepy. If we put a happy spin on all this, it'll be hectic with people dying and breaking up all over the place. It'll all be made right in the end.
Yeah, that's true.
The awakened witch will sleep again, and everything will be like it was at the start. Except with the huge pile of gold.
The witch must be pretty busy. What with all the killing, reviving, breaking up, and reuniting people.
Not to mention waking up and sleeping.
Sheesh! Just when the tale of the hidden gold was getting interesting, it all gets pretty dubious once the witch starts showing up.
Too true.
I laughed along with Jessica. After all, the idea of a witch was just too ridiculous. Of course, once we started laughing like that, Maria, who still believed in the witch, got angry.
Ew, the witch is incredible! She can do anything with magic. Even kill. Even bring back to life. Even give love. Even take it. She can fly in the sky. She can become invisible. She can make gold bread out of nothing.
Dang. My bad. We were just joking. Jessica apologized, sticking out her tongue, but Maria did not accept it. She grabbed Jessica's ponytail and ripped her hair off. She grabbed her notebook and back out of my hands, and opening to some pages, tried to prove that the witch existed. Those pages had colorful drawings of witches on them, and well conveyed the fantastical image Maria had of witches. It wasn't normal sinister image of a crooked-nosed hag, of a crooked-nosed hag flying around on a broom, but a dreamlike person with unnatural powers, who could do anything and wore a beautiful dress. It was just like what you expect from an imaginative young girl. Fitting though, flitting through the sky, crossing a rainbow, dancing around all night with a teacup and a teapot that would never get empty no matter how much you poured out of it. With a flourish of her staff, the stars in the sky could become candy and pour down, and flowers that produced sweets would bud by the roadside. For Maria, witches were the only concept that could embody the magical dream that so captivated her. As she grew older, it was the last remaining thing that could give richness to her dull and plain everyday life. That's why Maria believed in witches. She didn't want that dream of hers to be tarnished. That's why she didn't want anyone to tarnish the epitaph, which affirmed the existence of wishes. Because the witch named Beatrice is Maria's dream. For Maria-chan, the epitaph isn't a guide to the hidden gold, but magic to revive the witch. So it was a single link between Maria and the witch. Maria was very angry and clung to Georgianiki. Jessica and I scratched our heads and apologized. It might not be possible to smooth things over again like the time that she got mad in front of the portrait. Maria didn't seem willing to be easily consoled. Like Jessica and I, who hung our heads wondering what to do, Chan-chan timidly opened her mouth.
Maria-sama, did you know? There's a ghost story about Beatrice that has been passed down amongst the servants. Voodoo? Yeah, that's right. Shannon, tell us about it.
Still, no more woman voices. Please, please.
I don't really know, but it's apparently pretty famous among the servants.
What is it? A ghost story? Yes. It's a ghost story. Boo. It seems it's a story from before we were born. I almost heard about it from my mother. I also heard about it from my mother. Almost. I almost heard it. She was saying it and then I kind of just fell asleep.
Yes. It's been passed down since the time of the mansion's construction. The servants of that time whispered that the mansion had two masters. One of a day, and one of a night.
Tom. Oh my god, it's not even been 2 hours, I'm losing any form of cohesion. The tale that Shannon told was just like a typical campfire ghost story. There was a forest with a witch living inside it. Then, of course, the witch would come pay the mansion a visit from time to time. At some point, this ghost story naturally sprouted up between the servants. When people do the rounds of the second time to check doors, windows, and locks that were supposedly closed, they'd find some of them left open. Lights that were supposed to be off were turned on, and lights that were supposed to be on went out. Things left lying around would disappear, and things would appear when no one had any memory of putting them there. When any of these things happened, the old servants would say that the witch had visited the mansion, invisible, and was playing pranks.
Voodoo! See? She exists! Beatrice exists!
Yeah, she exists. Long ago. It was right before I was leaving school that I wasn't able to find my bag and stuff. Maria puffed out her chest with an "Udo," as though this was a final proof of the witch's existence. If I opened my mouth, Maria would probably be hurt again, so I didn't. I mean, you hear this kind of story everywhere. Depending on the place, they might blame it on a dwarf or an elf. The only difference is that they call it a witch on this island. Of course, walking around a vast, elegant mansion at night would be a little unsettling. It's an island devoid of people. Since the mansion is so drafty, walking around on the night of a thunderstorm would be certainly eerie.
In addition, some servants have also seen the will-o'-the-wisps glittering blood. They've seen blood flowing down the halls and people just viciously dying. They've seen will-o'-the-wisps and glittering butterflies dancing around. Hanakun also saw something that when he was patrolling on one night. And recently, you often hear servants talking about strange footsteps heard inside the mansion near midnight. No. Stop. Don't go back there. We've whispered together that Beatrice Sama in the portrait sometimes makes herself invisible and walks through the mansion. It happened a while ago, but even I have heard footsteps in the patrolling night that resemble these stories.
Whoa. That's scary.
But there's nothing to be afraid of. Beatrice Sama is the ruler of this mansion, separate from the master. So there's no need to be unnaturally afraid. You respect her. I hear she won't do anything bad.
However, she can be quite terrifying if you don't respect her, right?
Correct. I've heard that just before I began working here, someone who spoke badly about Beatrice Sama fell down the stairs and quit after receiving a large injury to their back. Because of that, there was a rumor.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop from saying anything. I have to feign ignorance.
Because of that, there was a rumor between the servants of Beatrice's Sama anger brought down upon that person. Voodoo, anger will definitely be brought down on Battler and Jessica. Voodoo?
I'm sorry. I don't want her anger brought down upon me. I apologize, Maria. Of course, I also apologize to the witch. I'm sorry, Beatrice Sama. Please forgive an outsider's nonsense.
I'll apologize as well. I'm sorry, Beatrice Sama. Will the witch be able to forgive us now? Voodoo! No! Don't know. Witches are so fickle. So they forgive when they want to, and don't when they don't. Voodoo.
That's no good. Maria-chan, isn't there some kind of good luck charm that could prevent Battler-kun and Jessica-chan from suffering Beatrice Sama's wrath? Maybe something that can block against magic? By relying on Maria, who is proud of knowing the most about witches, George was trying to revive her self-esteem. Once again, I've gotta admire his ability to calm kids down. After taking a moment to cross her arms and seriously ponder whether there might be a charm that could save us, she started flipping through the pages in her notebook. I thought it was just a scribbled diary. There also seemed to be quite a few pages that looked like they come from a book of black magic. Maria solemnly considered a group of these pages, which contained things that looked like magic circles. Apparently, Grandfather wasn't the only one with the black magic hobby. Maria finally found out what she was looking for. She snapped the notebook shut and threw it into her handbag. She began fisting through her bag's contents. There seemed to be various jumbled up things in there. After a while, she took out various pieces of junk, although they were probably important magical items to Maria, and they repeatedly threw them back in, saying that they were wrong. It was a little humorous, just like when Doraemon took out the wrong tool. Get it? Get it? It's Doraemon from Doraemon. Finally, she seemed to discover what she was looking for. With a face that was unimaginably cheery when compared to the intense expression she had just worn before now, she held out those to Jessica and me.
Voodoo!
I grabbed it. Saw what looked like a very cheap looking charm. It looked like a bracelet made from plastic rosary with a scorpion themed medal attached. Haven't you ever seen those cheap Zodiac themed accessories? The kind you might win in a crane game at an arcade. It really looked like something like that. There were two of them. Probably one for me and one for Jessica. However, the very fact that there were two of them made them feel more like cheap manufactured goods, making it pretty hard to think of them as magical items.
You're giving these to me and Battler? Who do? With these charms, you don't even need to worry about Beatrice, because scorpions have the power to ward off magic.
Huh, really? Didn't know scorpions could do that.
Who do? Battler doesn't believe. Do.
I said too much and angered Maria again. Maria took out her notebook again, pointing at various pages that she went on and on about how the scorpion had such incredible holy power and been used in magical circles since ancient times.
Ah, I've heard about that from some of the younger servants. Something about how the scorpion is drawn to a magic repelling symbol in sorcery.
Huh, really?
Do. The scorpion protects against bad magic and calamity. An emerald brings peace to the heart. Therefore, its effects are twofold. Do.
It's true. The scorpion wraps around the emerald and protects it. That certainly does sound like how it'd work well. I really wanted to make fun of those worthless looking charms, but as I watched Marie explaining with all her heart, I realized that she'd found them for our sakes. I started to feel like it might actually work, even if it was just a prize from some game center. The material quality of the charm didn't matter. What mattered was the strength of her feelings. Even I don't think of myself as a sort of loser who'd laugh at something like that. Okay, thank you. I apologize to Beatrice-sama, even though I do end up getting cursed. Be safe now thanks to Maria's charm. Right, Jessica?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Maria. Do. Wear it on your arm when you want to go get your heart a piece. Put it in your wallet when you want money decrease.
Wait.
Wear it on your arm when you want your heart to at peace. Put it in your wallet and your money won't decrease. If you hang it on a doorknob, bad things can't get in. It's really a convenient charm. What an incredible effect. If Maria-sama gives it her confident seal of approval, then it surely must be reliable.
Shannon clapped her hands together and Maria stuck out her chest. She was totally in a good mood again. It's probably the best I've seen her lead the conversation a bit longer, if it'll keep her in such a good mood. Huh? Don't worry about it. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Oh my god. Music. Come to think of it, she looked a little bored when we were getting excited about the hidden gold, probably because she couldn't keep up. While eating the cookies Kumasawa-san had baked, Jessica and I had asked Maria this and that about black magic. Maria happily chatted away in response to our questions. Each time, George, Aniki, and Shannon would act surprised or chime in. The clouds in the sky grew darker and darker, but we cousins really enjoyed communicating freely after a year of separation. Bum 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 bum. I just feel a drop on my forehead. Huh? I wonder. Bum 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 bum. As Georgia Nikki rubbed his forehead, he looked up at the sky. Considering the color of the sky and the dampness of the air, it wouldn't have been odd for a raindrop to hit him. The wind also seemed to have grown a bit stronger.
Udo? I didn't feel a drop. Only I didn't. Udo.
Don't worry, neither did I. Anyway, I'm sure it'll rain so much tonight that everyone will get to feel plenty of raindrops. That's right. Maybe we should head back soon. Shannon-chan looked at her watch. It was probably well into the evening by now.
Is it already time for you to return to your work? Yes. Thank you very much for allowing me to enjoy some time together with you all.
Tell Kumasawa-san thanks for the cookies. Okay, everyone, help out with the cleanup. Shannon-chan declined her help, saying that this was a servant's job. Picking up a dropped fork before the waitress had passed to is like my purpose in life.
We folded up the blanket, gathered up our trash, and helped clean everything up. Doo-doo! The trash is getting away! Doo-doo! I won't let it escape. I'll grab it before Maria does. Oh no! Doo-doo! I'll grab it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo! Maria, don't get your shoes wet, you'll be in trouble. To Maria, chasing after some trash sent flying amid powerful winds was just another game. Just another game. By the time we were finished, the wind was blowing pretty strongly. Probably a good time to head back. You've all helped me out a lot. Thank you so much. It looks like you've really got out of time. It's okay if you have to head back first. Georgianiki perceived. I perceive you. Georgianiki perceived from her hurried... Oh, God. Perceived her. Georgianiki perceived from her hurried appearance that very little of her free time was left. Genji-san's very strict about time. If you don't show up, you're supposed to be at the right time. I bet I'll be pissed. We'll see you later. Do your best with your work. Yes. Then, if you'll excuse me. After making a respectful bow, Shannon-chan ran towards the rose garden. Okay, let's head back to the guest house. We can watch TV or something and relax a little. Wanna watch TV? Wanna watch TV? That's decided. Let's all head back and watch TV together. Maria, who wasn't done having fun, agreed once television was mentioned. We climbed up the gentle stairs and returned to the rose garden. It started heavily fucking pouring, and we were dying! The wind had grown very strong, the roses shook throughout the garden like ripples of water. This might be our last chance to see these beautiful roses. I bet tonight's typhoon ruins them. These roses might be done in by tonight's winds. You're right. Still, I think those roses were pretty lucky. After all, they got to welcome you all before the typhoon. Do you want to say that again? Before the typhoon. It's okay, Jessica. Take as many times as you need to say it. Before the typhoon. There. You happy? All the flowers lose their petals eventually. But that just means we can admire them even more when they're in bloom. That's right. Maria, burn this image into your eyes. Burn it. At this moment, they're the best roses of the year. Doo-doo. Burned into eyes. Right then, Maria suddenly clapped her hands. It looked as if she remembered something. My rose. The typhoon will send it flying. Doo-doo. Oh, you mean that sad-looking rose Georgianiki marked with a ribbon? Yeah, that's dead. Maria apparently remembered where the rose was. She ran at full speed. The rest of us followed her. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Where was it at again? I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around here. We searched everywhere around the area, but it was only a single flower amongst all the roses after all. Even though we knew it was just somewhere close by, we weren't able to find it. The winds making up the typhoon's front lines made roses throughout the garden undulate. They were so moving that we couldn't even see anything. It was almost as it was teasing. It was almost like it was teasing us by making the location of Maria's rose impossible to find. Maybe it wasn't here. Maybe let's try spreading out a bit in our search. Sounds good. Let's go for strength in numbers. Huh? What's up, Maria? As we made a split up in the search, Maria tugged on my jacket with an unhappy face. You could tell she didn't want us to leave that spot. What is it? What's wrong? Doo-doo. My rose is here. It's here! But it's actually not, right? Maybe it was on the other side of the flower bed. If we all look, we'll find it fast, okay? Doo-doo! It's here! My rose is here! Look for it! Look for it! Oh my god, I can't yell, please. Maria stomped her feet in irritation. I can't yell in a high girl voice right now. She pointed at that spot and said it was definitely there, but in actuality, it wasn't. Even so, Maria got mad when we said that we were going to search elsewhere. We were at a loss of what to do. For a while, we had to stay near Maria and pretend to search throughout the rose thicket. Voodoo! Voodoo! Not here! Not here! Not here! Voodoo!
Maybe she's saying that it shouldn't be here, but it should be here, but it isn't? Oh, Maria became increasingly irritated. Oh, man. Maria's really losing her temper. Sometimes Maria starts to really care about really pointless stuff. She gets what she wants, that's okay, but you can't find something that isn't there. That's not good. Just when we were at a loss for what to do, Maria called out in a loud voice.
Mama! Voodoo!
We could see Aunt Rosa in the direction Maria was waving her hand. Maybe she wanted to look at the garden one more time before the typhoon came. Or maybe she had some business at the guest house. Aunt Rosa was coming from the mansion. She quickly noticed her daughter's voice and came over.
My, what happened, everyone? Are you looking for something?
Look for it! Mama, you look for my rose too! Voodoo!
Your rose?
Sorry, I'm trying hard. We found an unhealthy rose around here and marked it. We tied a candy wrapper around it. But Maria, if I remember correctly, it was glowing. It was glowing, wasn't it? It was growing right in front and really stood out, didn't it? Unless it grew legs and ran off somewhere. It must have been somewhere else. Maybe you remembered it wrong.
Voodoo! It is here! It is here! Valor doesn't believe! Voodoo!
How many times do I have to tell you to stop saying Udu before you'll understand? Mama will look for it, so stay quiet. I'd never seen Aunt Rosa be anything other than kind and gentle, so her anger surprised me a bit. Aunt Rosa began searching as well, so we went along with her for the time being. But we were already more than sure that it wasn't around there. So it didn't take long for Aunt Rosa to realize that too. The rose isn't here. Did you mistake this place for somewhere else? There are so many roses around.
Voodoo! Voodoo! That's wrong! It is here! Mama doesn't believe! Voodoo!
I already believed you and looked hard for it, didn't I? But it isn't here.
Voodoo! But it is here! It is here! But it isn't!
Then someone must have ripped it out. Anyway, stop saying Udu.
Who ripped out my rose? Who did? Give it back! Give it back! Voodoo! Voodoo!
How should I know? Stop it! Stop saying Udu!
Damn! Why? You fucking bitch! Fucking hate this character so much. I hate her. I fucking despise her. God damn. Aunt Rosa slapped Maria's left cheek with her palm. In that instant, Maria was shocked into silence. Of course, it was only for an instant. When Maria realized that her wish was being rejected, she started yelling even louder.
My rose! My rose!
Rosa is the worst. It's so true, bestie. Dude, thank you so much. She's terrible. I fucking hate her. Anytime she's on my screen. Well, listen, they're all bad. They're all really bad, but like, I've got a special place in my heart for not liking her.
Didn't I tell you to stop that weird habit? That's why all the kids in your class make fun of you.
Jesus fuck, man. I can't believe her. It's like not I can't even like believe what I'm reading sometimes with this fucking bitch.
That's why all the kids in your class make fun of you. Cut it out!
Why'd you fucking hit her kid again? Yeah. Once again, her palm slapped Maria's cheek. This time she didn't go silent. She choked as she started crying, began to bawl in an increasingly loud voice. Aunt Rosa was clearly irritated and lifted her hand once more to try and shut her daughter up. Aunt Rosa. No, she's just a little kid. There's no reason to get so serious. I tried to cut it in with a bitter smile, rubbing my hands together. But Aunt Rosa glared at me with a serious face, and I realized that I should have stayed out of this.
I'm sorry, but could the rest of you go back to your room for a bit? I need to have a little talk with Maria.
Hoodoo! Nobody believes in my rose, even though it was here. Hoodoo! Hoodoo! Look for it! Look for it! Here! It was here! Hoodoo!
But it's not here. So you must have confused this place for somewhere else, right?
Hoodoo! It is here! It's definitely here! Hoodoo!
Then it disappeared. Give it up.
Why? Why did it disappear? Why? Hoodoo!
I don't know that. Stop saying Udu. God damn. Aunt Rosa once again raised her hand, overcome by emotion, and slapped Maria's cheek. It was strong enough to knock Maria over. God, get... Kids, can you get out of here? Me and Maria just had to have a little talk. Sit down! Like, what the fuck? I just had to beat my daughter in silence, please. Rosa's the type of mom to go on, like, I don't know, like, Facebook, and be like, yeah, so, here's a cool parenting tip. If your kid is annoying, just beat the shit out of them. It really helps. If your kid's annoying, just don't deal with them. Oh no! Rose was the type of mom where if Maria, like, said anything sad, she'd say, wow, why are you trauma dumping on me? And it leaves. God. I can't believe she fucking nuts her fuck off. It was enough to knock Maria over. Hey, Aunt Rosa, even if she's your daughter, violence isn't the answer. I stepped between them to protect Maria, who's still on the ground crying Udu. I knew that, as an outsider, problems between parent and child were none of my business, but if you see parental abuse, you kinda had to step in. But, well, I wasn't brought up to just silently observe something like this. Yeah. Don't you think it's a little weird, Battler-kun? Are there any girls at your school who mutter Udu? Well, I am in high school, but for an elementary schooler, I think saying Udu is pretty cute. Cute? Saying Udu is cute? Cute? My careless words seem to have earned me an Aunt Rosa's wrath. She grabbed my oh my god. Now she's abusing more people. Great. Awesome. With a terrifying expression. Don't say such nonsense! Do you know how old Maria is? She's 9! What the fuck? Do you know how old she is? She's 3 years old. Do you believe she's still fucking crying? She's 9. She's a 4th grader, not a kindergartner. But she still makes that sound during class. Don't you get it? Don't you know what they say about this kid when they bully her? Thanks to this weird habit, she hasn't made a single friend. Don't turn your eyes from reality and carelessly call Maria cute. Think more seriously about this kid's future.
Hoodoo. Hoodoo. Hoodoo.
I told you, stop making that sound. Didn't I tell you to stop it? Aunt Rosa struck Maria's quivering head, from which an increasingly unhappy voice was rising. I can't believe my fucking child is acting like a child. Can you believe this orange? It's fucking orange. It's not yellow. What the fuck? See, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot that this was, like, in episode 1. Me? Would not have, like, I don't know what I was fucking doing when I was reading this. Bro, I must have just, like, not even been paying attention when I was reading episode 1, because, like, what the fuck? I forgot that this was here and not, like, in the next episode or whatever. Like, holy shit. I tried to stop it, but Aunt Rosa pushed me away. My back hit George Aniki.
A long time ago, Aunt Rosa also thought of it as nothing more than one of Maria-chan's baby words. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that background for Ryukishi is like, I think for Umineko specifically, I don't know, you can really see it in everything, even like Syconia, but like, it inspires so much of his work that like, it's really hard to watch. Social worker. Ryukishi07, known social worker. The woke agenda in Umineko Nanako Koroni. So true. It's just like so clear in all of his writing that like he's like seen shit and that like he comes from a place of like understanding and trying to just like show. It's really like, it's really beautiful. It's also really fucking hard sometimes. Like, damn. And I should probably preface, I have played this game fully on my own, and then I played Syconia, and I watched Higurashi. I played chapter 1 or episode 1. I'm planning on playing that on my own, just because it's October and it's the spooky one. But yeah, I'm fairly familiar with his stuff by now, I would say. I mean, if you read this fucking thing, like, damn. But oh fuck, I need water. That her. Listen, I can't say anything right now. I can't say anything about Umineko's secret. I can't. There's so much. You can't talk about it. Shh. It's a spoiler. Secret. Fuck, the fucking music. I can't even focus. But now that it hasn't been fixed even midway through elementary school, she's been worrying about it a lot. How she talks isn't really that big of a deal, right? She'll never make it as an adult if she's like, dude, she's 9. She's 9 years old. So even though it isn't fun to watch, this is the only thing that we can do. We have to literally beat her up. Battler, don't you understand? I'm red-pilled, Battler. You may be blue-pilled, but I understand that the only way to teach children and have them change is beating them up. Dude, Syconia Part 2, it needs to come out. Like, I'm like frothing at the mouth. Syconia was so much fun to read for me. Sorry, this is a tangent while I'm fucking reading Umineko. But Syconia was so much fun for me to read because even though I didn't like stream it or anything, it is the only visual novel where I was like, hey, you know what? It'd be fun to just like voice this on my own. And like, I don't know, Syconia was already great, but like, it really made me attached to the fucking character. Like, this is so fucking stupid, but like, it really made me attached to them, and I was like, holy shit. When that first phase ended, I was like, why the fuck did I read this when all the phases aren't out? I shouldn't have done that to myself. I've only ever like read this stuff when you have everything, and that was so hard to end Syconia there, like, motherfucker. And then the world crashed. She'll never make it as an adult if she's like that, so even though it isn't fun to watch, this is a problem between parent and child. Well, I get chewed out by mom all the time because of how I talk. When they put it that way, even a scene as painful as this isn't something an outsider like me should butt in on. Yeah, sure. Sure, Battler. Battler-kun, when you were a kid, didn't your mother fucking beat the shit out of you? Wasn't it funny? Was it cool? Didn't you have any bad habits that you couldn't fix that got you into trouble? Well, 1 or 2. On Parents' Day, they're just saying this while she's crumpled on the fucking ground. Yeah, I also really enjoyed Syconia. I want more of it. That's all. I need to go back and read, I don't think I've read all the data logs, though. I think I need to go back and read those on my own. I read maybe one, which was great. That one, I was like, damn, I fucking love this cast. The fucking VR like horror game one, I think. That was funny. I was like, these guys are so silly. I'm really worried about those characters. I feel so bad for them. All these games are so fucked up. Like, you really, like, if you are not at the end of a part of this fucking series, it's not gonna be, like, good for anyone in it. Well, one or two. On Parents' Day once, I kept getting yelled at in front of everyone, and it was embarrassing as all hell. Well then, you can understand how the two of them must feel right now. I'm sure they don't want us to be here. God. Oh my god. Maria's just turned into dust now, and Rosa's just standing over her, and they're just like, so, have you guys ever played badminton? You know, it's quite different from tennis. You know, I'm actually quite fond of racquetball.
You know, I've only played, polo. Yeah, we have such, like, big fields here that we just play polo sometimes. Hey, has anyone seen Maria?
I'm sure they don't want us to be here now. You understand too, don't you, Jessica-chan?
I don't think anyone likes to be seen when they're being scolded.
Ooh. Let's go. We'll return to the guest house. Then after Maria-chan comes back, let's welcome her as if nothing happened. That's probably for the best, isn't it? We thought George Niki's point was probably a reasonable one, and maybe being eager to use that reasonable sounding argument as a justification to retreat from this heart-rending scene. Jessica and I nodded to George and Nikki, and we all left. Why would you show that? Why would you show this, you motherfucker? We all called towards Maria, telling her that we she's just still fucking getting beaten up, and we're like, okay, Maria, we're gonna go get some fucking dinner later. No, going to head to the guest house. But she didn't seem to hear, seeing as she was still getting hit in the ears. And we felt sort of guilty and shameless after saying it. No shit.
In that case, look by yourself as much as you want. Mama doesn't care. Voodoo. I'll look for it. I'll look for it by myself, even if Mama doesn't care. Voodoo. Voodoo.
Have it your way. After blasting her with those last words, Rosa spun on her heels and quickly returned to the mansion. Maria probably viewed that as a cold gesture meant to injure. That wasn't Rosa's intention. It was because the hand with which she had so emotionally struck Maria's cheek was still numb. I'm sorry. Maybe I fucking forgot what this line meant. Oh, okay. It was because as she stayed there screaming, she might again be taken over by her emotions and continue slapping her daughter's cheek over and over. She was being a good mom here when she walked away, you know? She was like, honestly, she was kind of base for this because she was like, you know what? I'm only adding fire to the situation, you know? After I just slapped you like 4 times and you fell to the ground and you're crying when a typhoon's about to start, you know what? Maybe I should leave. After Rosa left, Maria was left alone in the rose garden. The wind began to blow stronger and stronger, and every once in a while, a raindrop would fall on her forehead. However, Maria couldn't leave that place. Not until she found that poor wilting rose. It had definitely been there. And so, it wasn't. Even though she knew that the place, and even though it had been there, it wasn't. Maria bitterly stared at the place it was supposed to be, and thought frantically. That's what I was saying. For a second I was like, I'm sorry, did she stop hitting her daughter because she's like, my hand hurts? I was like, holy fuck. Maybe the angle I'm looking from is wrong. Maybe the height I'm looking from is wrong. While gazing at that single point, Maria repeatedly stood up, changed her position, and continued to stare. The wind was getting stronger and stronger, but Maria kept on looking for that rose in front of the flower bed, until the wind carried her off into a world where her mom didn't hit her. Luckily, Maria was never seen again. She got therapy. Kenzo noticed the sound of raindrops beating on the window. Hey, look at that! You don't see that in the fucking, Steam mod version. It's rain! It seemed to be pouring down thickly. It had begun to rain later than the weather report had predicted. Weather report? Kenzo approached the windows as if being summoned by the sound of the rain. The sound of rain is a sound of silence. What? No, the sound of rain is the sound of rain. That sound feels quieter than any silence. Okay. It makes humans remember that, in the end, they're alone from the moment they're born. From the moment they die. Yeah. You're late, Beatrice. I'm sorry, Beatorici. Were the words directed at the raining sky? There was no one to be seen in the direction of Kenzo's gaze. Which in gold symbolo. Well then, let us begin. Let us begin our banquet of miracles. This island has now been cut off from the world. Now there are none who can interrupt my ceremony. There are many fitting sacrifices for you. 4 of my children, 3 other companions, 4 of my grandchildren, me and my guests and my servants. You may devour as many as you please. Oh fuck yeah, the music's picking up, dude. The key of fate will select the sacrifices in accordance to the demon's roulette. If the roulette chooses me, even I will become your sacrifice. However, because of that, because I will bet on such madness, will be assuredly bring forth a grand miracle. Come, devour to your heart's content. I will achieve your victory over the roulette. I will achieve victory over the roulette. Yes, I'll put everything on black. I'll put everything on the line. First, I'll return to the inheritance of the Ushiramiya family. Accept it. Kenzo tore the window open, ripped a golden ring off his finger, and forcibly threw it away. Dude, the OST slaps so fucking hard. At that time, first of all, maybe we've gotten a teensy little bit spoilered, because back when I was reading this, I would listen to the OST all the time, and love the people that post the OST. Love that they want to, like, showcase the songs and the scenes that they're in. However, some of those scenes are a little spoilers. like out of context, maybe you don't really get anything, but it's still like, I was sitting the entire game like, when is this character going to look like this? Because this fucking song goes crazy, and I want to see them look wild. I want to see them look fucking bonkers. At that time, the sound of thunder rang out, giving the illusion that the lightning had accepted the ring. And when you are resurrected, surely I will be the one who stands witness. I will survive until the end and watch over you as you awaken. So come, Beatrice. Welcome to my banquet. In exchange for all that I have created, show me another miracle just this once. Oh, Beatrice! He's normal. Sorry. Scary. Is it no longer Umineko Day? It's still technically Umineko Day. Well, not that day, but a Umineko Day. A news ticker popped up on the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told how many municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Of course, the raindrops beating harshly on the window were even more convincing. This rain's incredible. Still, when it's raining this hard, it also feels like it might stop at any moment.
You wish. They said the typhoon's moving so slow it might be like this all day tomorrow. And even a little bad weather stops the boats from coming.
It looks like we won't be able to head out on Sunday after all. Just in case, I did clear all outside business from my Monday schedule. And I'm glad I did. Which means, looks like we'll get to skip school Monday. Living on an island starting to sound pretty good. Come to think of it, Jessica, you've got to take a boat to school every day, don't you? What do you do when the boats stop running? You stay home when it rains and show up late when the wind's blowing like King Kamehameha? If the boats don't come, I stay home. Still, it's not as good as it sounds. Usually I'm ordered to study by myself. It's not that fun with someone standing right behind you watching everything you do. During the rainy season, does the weather ever stay bad for a long time and make you miss a whole bunch of days in a row? That does happen sometimes. Still, I get a call from my homeroom teacher every single day, who'd sourly guide me on how I should teach myself who I had to turn in. She can't skip school so easily as you're imagining, Battler-kun. She's not a dumbass like you, so she has to keep studying. She's got to follow the rules for people to travel to school by boat and get a good amount of studying done. It might actually be easier just to go to school. In my own room, I get distracted and can't concentrate. After being made to do nothing but workbooks, after doing nothing but working out all day, I get a little tired. Gotta get some knowledge in, you know? For several days straight, it's pretty hard to handle all the mental stress. When I get into college, I really just want to go to some dorm and say goodbye to this inconvenient island. Okay. By the way, what do you do when the weather's good in the morning, but then it gets so bad on the way home that the boats are closed? You spend the night at school?
That actually happens a lot. Because of that, they've built some lodgings there for people who can't get back to the island they live on. That's where you'd spend the night. Sometimes, when it gets really bad, you can't get back home for a few days at a time.
Someone's commuting to school or work on a train packed as twice its capacity might carelessly think that commuting by boat would be pretty interesting and fun, but it sounds like it comes with troubles of its own.
You hear thoughtless tourists saying stuff like that all the time. I've had enough of island life. I really just want to graduate high school and say goodbye to this island.
But there's all those... oh god. But there are all dorm schools even for high school, right? I just want to see one person die today. That's it. Listen, I know it's not gonna be... I know when they're gonna die, but I just want to see it happen on the stream. Please. If I can just make it through that, that'll be great. Be awesome. Just one death. It doesn't have to be, like, a lot. Why'd you choose the Nijimi school of all places?
I wanted to go to one of those from the beginning, but Mom's always going on about how I had to learn manners and discipline as a successor. So I ended up sticking close to home, even for high school. Man, I hate this island. I just want to go live in the city. I don't care if it rains or spears fall from the sky, as long as I can move to a city where I wear casual clothes and sandals. I can get to a convenience store in less than 5 minutes.
Please, Death. Please, I'm praying. Ha. Hold on out just a bit longer. Just a bit more and you'll graduate high school, right?
I can't wait a little longer.
Oh god, I didn't read. Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe it was a bad time slot because there weren't any interesting programs on, but... And we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. What was it, like 6 p.m? After that episode, Maria never returned to the cousin's room at all. Aunt Rosa probably took her back to the mansion. No. I think Rosa does anything for her daughter? I will slander this woman. I would slander her to the ground. It had to be pretty boring for Maria, all by herself while all the adults had confusing conversation. We thought we might as well head to the mansion to see her, but the weather was really awful. And since there wasn't much time until dinner, we stayed where we were. Knock knock! At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered.
Yes!
Fucking thank you, Canon. Canon's voice saving me.
The preparations for dinner are complete. Please come to the mansion.
It was Kanon-kun's voice. You go all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to come get us? Couldn't you have just called us from a telephone? Well, I guess servants at work don't always get to take the most efficient route. Just when I was getting hungry. Let's go. George and Iki turned off the television and stood up. My stomach's been growling for a while. I've always been a huge fan of the main family dinners. And didn't Goda-san say it was calf steak or something? Oh, I can't wait.
Our dinners are always more fabulous than the usual when the family conference comes around. Even I'm looking forward to it. Let's go, let's go! Please, food. As we left our room, Count Uncloon bowed silently and respectfully. Okay, let's go. Is the rain pretty nasty out there? Yes. Take care not to get your garments wet. But wait, I want to do something. Let me see. Config. Next. Next. What is this? Is this for sound effects? I don't know. Type B? Ooh, no. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm sorry. Type T. How do I feel about this? Wasn't Maria? I actually like this better. I'm gonna be honest. I like this better. It's like novel, but good. Wait, let me see novel. Chapter 7. Wasn't Maria Sama with you? No, she's not. Yeah. I'm choosing that one. It's just better. You just get to see everything. Yep. No, she's not. Wasn't she with Aunt Rosa? It's probably gonna be harder to read like this, though. Let's see. I'll try my hardest. Rosa was lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, having fallen asleep before she knew it. She was bearing a burden that the children couldn't even imagine. Her hand hurt so bad. That's why she only needed to let her guard down a little, before the weariness immediately dragged her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket. Oh my god, a blanket over to her. When he, I thought it said when he tripped and when he tripped and fell onto her, and she started screaming bloody murder. When he tried to spread it all over her, her eyes snapped open as though she'd been shocked with electricity. Ha! Ah. Oh, it's you, Genji-san. Thank you. When she realized that the thing that had touched her was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief. Did I wake you? My sincere apologies. No, it's okay. I hadn't planned on sleeping in the first place. What time is it now? When he asked for the time, Genji checked a pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket. It is slightly after 6 o'clock. Rosa gave her head a little pat shake, and then she realized not much time had passed, even though it felt like she'd slept for ages. Rosa's hand hurts from beating her daughter, so she's being so brave about it. She's putting on a good face. She's like, she really wants to cry, but like she's not letting it get to her, you know? Enveloped her must have been pretty deep. Thank you. I'll be fine without the blanket. I mustn't sleep at such a strange time. My sense of time has been completely thrown off. The rain has started pouring down in earnest, hasn't it? In earnest? What is this, the 1800s? Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain. The wind's blowing hard, too. I wonder if the typhoon's finally here. That's what they said on TV. That's what my boy on the TV said. He said, yo, it's fucking raining. I agree, it is fucking raining. The typhoon is moving slowly, so they think it would be like this all day tomorrow. Really? So, our last chance to see the wonderful rose garden must have already passed. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. I'm gonna fucking evict her. Must have already passed by. From the window, what she could see of the rose garden was completely blurred out by the wind and the rain. Maria. That's right, what about Maria? Oh, hour of darkness. I have not seen her. Did she not return to the guest house? Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, so a chill ran down her spine. Maria was stubbornly honest, and if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. Even in pouring rain. No. My hand hurt. The cousins left before I did, so Maria was alone. Unless someone told her to stop, she'd stay there even if it started raining spears. Without even opening an umbrella. How could I have lost control of my emotions and done such a thing? Oh wow, poor Rosa. Even though she'd known about Maria's simple honesty better than anyone, she'd once again lost control of her emotions and done something terrible. Maria! Rosa pushed Genji away and he fell on the ground and broke his spine. He sued her for $8 million. Pushed Genji away and ran down the hall. Rosa, I'm sorry to say it, bestie. You've been evicted. Here's your little notice. Get out. The outside really looked like a typhoon. Who would have guessed? And the rain was pouring down spectacularly. Maybe because some aspect of the terrain, the winds weren't typhoon class, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hands. Even so, it certainly was a windy rain. There was no time to admire the roses being drenched. Anyway, I'm getting pretty worried about Maria, so I'm gonna go find her. I don't think she's still rebelliously searching for that rose alone, do you? I wonder. Surely she wouldn't do it in this rain. Or at least, I wish I could believe that, but Maria-chan sometimes gets really stubborn and intensely straightforward. We hadn't worried much, thinking about Aunt Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, when Kanan-kun had come from the mansion to call us, and thought Maria was here, we got a little worried. I did not see her in the mansion, so I was sure she was here. After all, Rosa-sama was taking a nap. You didn't see her on your way over here? My apologies. I opened my umbrella and ran fast as I could, but I did not pay much attention. If he had cut through... Sorry, that's not me. If he had cut through the rose garden, taking the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have barely missed the place where Maria had been looking for the rose. And it was raining this hard, too. It certainly would have been possible for Kanan-kun to fail to notice her. Instead of arguing around here, it'd be faster to just check it out directly. Maneki, why don't we race over there? Oh, you think you can beat me now that you've been growing for 6 years? Okay, let's settle this. Go! George and Iki and I flew out into the rain. Jessica and Kanam followed us.
Maria! If you're there, answer me! Maria!
It's Aunt Rosa. Hey, Aunt Rosa! When George and Iki called back, Aunt Rosa jumped at him and grabbed onto him.
Where the fuck is my daughter?
Where's Maria?
Isn't she with you?
No, we didn't meet with Maria-chan after that.
Maria!
6 years ago, Maria had been 3 years old. Wow. Who would have guessed that 9 minus 6 is 3? 6 years ago, Maria was 3. He was a cute and pure kid who just accepted whatever anyone said. But 6 years had passed since then. She's 9 now, experiencing the ups and downs of life that should have taught her something. But Maria, are you telling me you still act as innocent and pure as you used to be? At 9 years old? How dare you not be a fully fledged adult? What the fuck is wrong with you? Maria! Yeah, I'm not yelling right now. As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. Maria was crouching down, holding a white umbrella and searching for that rose.
Doo-doo.
Her face, which had been turned bright from red from her crying eyes out, was dirtied with water and mud. It was truly a pitiful sight. Maria, are you still looking?
Doo-doo. Can't find it. Need mountain to blast. Can't find my rose. Doo-doo.
Maria had probably been here since the rain started pouring down. Her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone, but fortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she wasn't completely soaked. The umbrella probably came from the handbag Maria always carried around. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness. Battler-kun, thank goodness you found her.
Maria, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I beat you and I made you fall to the ground and cry. I'm so sorry. I was just having a girl boss moment. It's my fault. My fault, Maria. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Maria. Can you forgive me?
Aunt Rosa threw her umbrella aside and hugged Maria.
Voodoo, it's not here. My rose isn't here. Voodoo. I'll look for it with you later. Okay. So just put it on hold for today. Okay. Voodoo. Put it on hold for today.
It looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Jessica and Kana-kun caught up with us. I'll have a towel ready in the mansion immediately.
Maria, were you here this whole time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being such a bad mother. I'm gonna go on Reddit and ask all the mothers of Reddit what I can do better to be a better mother. I'll try not to be so cringe. I'll try to be a based mother, Maria, just for you. Just for you, Maria.
Aunt Rosa, why don't you stop beating your daughter? Why don't we head back to the mansion for the time being? If we stay here, Maria will catch a cold.
You're right.
Maria's the real girl boss here. She's not worried about weather or anything or her mom. She just wants to look for a rose.
You're right. Maria, let's go. If we don't get you cleaned up, grandfather will be mad, you bad little girl. You disgusting, snivy little...
Oh, I just clicked.
Grandfather will be mad. I don't give a shit. Voodoo, hungry.
Reddit. Am I the asshole? I, 34 female, am trying to girl boss on my daughter, 9 female. She's just being a little girl. And she keeps saying "Uru" all the time. It's really fucking annoying. She's getting bullied in school. So I, the gracious mother I am, beat her up. But some of my nephews and nieces had a problem with it. So I just wanted to come on Reddit and ask everyone, am I the asshole? No, Queen, you're not the asshole. Oh my god, she made a noise that annoyed me. That's a death penalty.
Hungry.
It's already time to eat. You did a good job holding it. You did a good job. Oh my god. You did a good job holding out, Maria. Once the weather gets better, we'll all search together. We couldn't stay in the rain forever.
What if I talked like this?
We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us and headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as worn out as I thought. When she remembered we were having calf steak for dinner, she started chanting, "I'm hungry. I'm hungry, Uru," and returned to her usual spirited self. Aunt Rosa didn't chide Maria for saying Uru.
I see. So she had an umbrella on her.
Maria sure is good at packing the right stuff.
Voodoo, I didn't bring an umbrella. Voodoo.
What? Then how did you get a white umbrella you're holding?
Voodoo, I borrowed it.
Some caring person must have brought her an umbrella. A normal kid would Oh, this is the best fucking part. This is like literally the best fucking part of the episode is coming up. It's not true, but we can't stay in the rain forever. Maybe you guys can't, but if I stay on this image for 24 hours, you'll have stayed there for a whole day. So fucking deal with that, dumbass JPEGs on my screen. But Maria was too stubborn to give up so easily. So maybe that caring person gave up on telling Maria to find shelter, then decided to give her an umbrella.
I see. I'll have to thank that person. Who was it? Voodoo, Beatrice.
The name Maria cheerfully mentioned was that of the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to do so in a way that wouldn't damage Maria's good mood.
Really? That's wonderful. So, who was it? Who brought you the umbrella? Voodoo. Beatrice. Voodoo.
Maria immediately realized that her mother didn't believe her and started crying out unhappily again.
So Rosa stopped pursuing the subject. It'd probably be faster to just ask whoever lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself. Yeah, Beatrice! Let's fucking go! The real girl boss. As of yet unknown girl boss, Beatrice. Hey, there she is! That's Beatrice! Go boss! Background. Father, please at least join us for dinner. It won't be a family conference otherwise. Along with a dull pounding on the door, the sound of Krause's entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to be resigned to the fact that nothing it said would be heard. Sorry, I just... no reason. This game's so fucked up. Sorry. Kinzo-san, won't you at least come out for dinner? All your children have gathered here to see your face, haven't they? Silence, Nanjo. The bishop won't work. One move too short. Too short. Apparently Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. Kinzo's brow was wrinkled and he continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Ross's voice didn't reach his ears. Kinzo-san, I'm hungry myself. Well, why don't we go down and eat? Go by yourself if that's what you want. Let me consider the next move for a little longer. We're going to finish it tonight. Otherwise, it'll be doubtful we'll finish before the world ends. Nanjo rose from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same. Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew very well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess. He'd never seen Kinzo concentrate as hard as this. It was almost as though Kinzo was telling the truth, and that there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest if they didn't finish tonight. It seemed that, no matter how obstinately he called out to Kinzo, it wouldn't reach the latter's heart. Nanjo gave up, and headed to the door that Krause was still banging on. Nah, man, he's not coming out. The door to the study opened. Krause was taken aback, thinking maybe Kinzo was actually coming out. However, Nanjo was the one who appeared, and Krause let out a sigh of relief. Dr. Nanjo, his father. I'm sorry I couldn't be of service. Right now, this room is Kinzo-san's whole world. Technically, I'm going to read. Dude, that's the best. I'm gonna throw rocks at your window. It's just Nanjo the entire time. Fucking. You bitch. That's why you have no friends. Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. I'm gonna throw rocks and you're... There's actually a video of that with a different character from Umineko, which is really fucking... Let me see if I can find the Dr. Phil one though. I'm stuck with it. I'm gonna throw rocks in your window. You... Dr. Phil breaks into your house. I love this video so much.
Open
The door.
or
I'm gonna...
throw rocks through your windows, you dumb whore. I want the money. I'll raise enough hell till you give in and give it to me.
This works great for for him. This is just Nanjo.
Go kill yourself. Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you.
Everybody hates you. Nanjo when he loses at chess. You should go kill yourself. Strauss raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting, Father, can you hear me? We're heading down now, but please join anytime you feel like it. All of your children are waiting for you. His voice was very loud, and he was making a racket pounding on the door. There was no way it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. Well, it certainly was reaching him. But he ignored it. Anyway. However, unlike the time he'd been called down for lunch, he didn't fly into a rage. But by now, Kinzo was calm at heart. Almost as though he had taken a philosophical view and turned himself over to fate. Neither dinner nor the faces of my children interest me in the slightest. Just that girl in the background of my shot right now. I will only live if Beatrice is resurrected, or if I am chosen as sacrifice for the key. The demon's roulette has already started spinning. What means does dinner have at this point? Dude, dinner's tasty. It's good, it tastes good. As though the painfully loud banging on the door completely failed to enter his hearing, Enzo silently thought about his next chess move, still in his philosophical state. Just as always, Kenzo's figure couldn't be seen anywhere in the dining hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo. Father says he's still not feeling well. He truly regrets missing this once-in-a-year opportunity to sit together with his gathered family. Ava and Rudolph sniggered. That's... whoa. Don't you mean snickered? I don't like that word. I don't like that word. Given Kenzo's personality, there was no way he'd show signs of regret. And none of his relatives showed... Why would you write that word? That's bad. That's not, like... What was the people who would translate? Never mind. There's no way he'd shown any signs of regret, and none of his relatives shown any regret at his absence. Then why don't we start dinner? That's not his voice. Then why don't we start dinner? Goda again. Fuck, I don't want to voice Goda. Certainly. Well then, if you allow me. I'm just a fucking voice. Rudolph gets Rachel! Stop it! Oh my god. Rudolph starts a podcast. Dad, please stop. I don't want... Your podcast is getting listened to everyone at school. Battler, I'm just speaking what's on my mind. What the fuck, Dad? When Godo was told to start the family conference dinner, his biggest time to shine the whole year, he nodded with a broad grin. I wouldn't want to listen to any of these fucking people's podcasts. If anyone in this fucking, like, family had a podcast, who would I listen to? I would listen to... Maybe Jessica's? Who else? Yeah, that's probably... yeah, I think Jessica might be the only... No, I don't know if I would want to listen to Jessica's, actually. Yeah, I want to say none of them. If any of these people had a podcast, I would turn it off. I would not listen. May I ask who let Maria... Oh my fucking god. I literally am making the fucking worst joke ever, and then I look to see one of the best sections of the game ever. I feel like I could only listen to so many of Maria's podcasts. I feel like at a certain point, I would just... I would try to just, like, call Child Protective Services for her. Like, I don't think I could do it. I think I might cry. May I ask who lent Maria an umbrella? No. When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone noticed. An umbrella? What's this about? A short while back, Maria was in the rose garden when it started raining, and she apparently borrowed a white umbrella from someone. I wanted to thank them. It wasn't one of us. After you left, we moved to a different room and had a friendly chat the whole time. Ah, that's right. Even after that, the siblings had a real friendly chat. The word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips, so even those who had been present could tell the conversation had been a pleasant one. At the very least, it couldn't have been me, Ava, Rudolph, Hideyoshi-san, or Kirie-san. What the fuck is Kirie's voice? We were together the whole time. That's the same voice as Rosa! We were together the whole time. Even after not... That's the same as Ava. We were together the whole time. Even after Natsuhine-san and Rosa-san left. The whole time until the meal started. That's your voice now. This is not a fucking voice for any character. Let me try doing this again.
Turn the chessboard around. Turn the chessboard around. Yeah, I guess this is her voice now. Nissan went up to the study with Genji-san and called father. At that time, the rest of us went straight to the dining hall. So it wasn't one of us. Couldn't have been a servant kind enough to lend an umbrella. So was it you, Goto-san?
I have been in the kitchen the whole time preparing. My sincerest apologies. Goto looks slightly disappointed about missing a chance to show off. By that time, Shannon-kun and Kumasawa-san appeared, pushing a serving cart loaded with hors d'oeuvres.
Then what about Kumasawa-san or Sanan-chan? Yes? Has something gone wrong?
Because Shannon had come in part way, she shrank back, mistakenly thinking that the others were searching for the one responsible for some error. It isn't like that. It started to rain when Maria-chan was alone in the rose garden. After that, someone lent her an umbrella. Aunt Rosa said that she wanted to thank that person.
Voodoo. Beatrice.
Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Aunt Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
Oh, it wasn't us. Shannon-san and I were preparing the rooms together, so we did not go outside.
Yes. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be of assistance.
Preparing the rooms? What do you mean by that? Fucking God, not another one.
Because of the rain, we thought it would be troublesome for all those guests to return to the guest house. So the servants were ordered to prepare the guest rooms inside the mansion. Really? How thoughtful. Yes, it certainly would be rude to chase us out outside this rain.
Did you give it a rest?
Yes. After receiving the order from Madam, Kumasawa-san, Kanan-kun, and I started preparing the rooms. Then it became time for dinner. So Genji-san ordered Kanan-kun to go to this guest house and summon the children.
Yes. So did Kanan-san find Maria on the way to the guest house and hand her the umbrella? Voodoo. Wrong.
The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent out the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she thought asking like this everyone gathered at the dinner would work immediately.
Then, was it you, Natsuine-san? I'm sorry. After everyone's friendly chat, my headache was so bad, I've been resting in my room. Therefore, I did not go outside. Then, who was it? George-kun and the kids? That can't be right.
No, it wasn't us. We were watching television in the guest house at the time.
Actually, we thought Maria had just gone back to the mansion with you.
Then Kanan-kun came and he asked whether Maria was with us. That's George's voice. Maria was with us. That's when we first realized she wasn't in the mansion. I mean, if it were me, I'd have grabbed her hand and pulled her under the roof before giving her an umbrella.
Beckoning.
Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants denied that they had done it, even though it wasn't really something anyone would need to hide. So the process of elimination, the number of remaining candidates wasn't large. Of course, it wasn't me. Right after it began raining, I visited Kenzo-san's room, and I was playing chess with him until now.
Which means it also wasn't grandfather.
Wait a sec. Isn't this starting to get a bit weird? Who's left?
And who was it? Genji-san? Huh? Wait a second, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm searching for some culprit or something. All I want to do is, as a mother, thank the person who gave Maria an umbrella in the middle of the rain.
Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why not? Everyone started whispering about how strange this was getting. Calm down, Rosa. Why don't we just talk to the person who lent the umbrella? That's why everyone had been thinking since the beginning. They were all scratching their heads, and why they didn't ask Maria who had been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer fast. Of course! Rudolph-kun's got it right. Maria-chan, tell your uncle. Who lent you the umbrella?
Beatrice.
The dining room was wrapped in silence for an instant, but soon interrupted by a burst of laughter. I see, so Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest, felt pity and lent her an umbrella. What a lovely story. Rosa, there you have it. Rosa couldn't believe it. Even though she just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella, why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke?
Doo-doo! Just like Uncle Kraus said. Beatrice let me borrow it. Doo-doo!
Isn't that wonderful? We should all be jealous of such purity. What do you think, everyone? Kraus was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking. But Maria was overjoyed, apparently convinced her claim was being believed.
How did that work? Does it mean a witch really appeared and lent her an umbrella?
Jessica asked me in a small voice I couldn't carry to Maria, who was just sitting across from me. Has Maria ever been the type to make jokes? If we'd heard that kind of story pop out of my old bastard's mouth, we would have just taken it as another joke. However, it's hard to explain in a way like that when Maria said it. It was getting pretty unnerving.
No way. She's always been frank and serious. She's the sort to believe any joke, even once normal people could instantly tell we're lies. I've never even seen her cracking a joke.
Aunt Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. She heard that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore. So, if Maria says she borrowed an umbrella from Beatrice, that must mean it really was Beatrice.
We're talking about Maria here, so I can't think of it as some kind of metaphor or joke. It might be best to take what she says at face value.
Then, what's going on? You saying Genji-san or someone put that on a fancy dress from the portrait and gave Maria the umbrella?
I'm not sure about that. Actually, that's what I want to know.
Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression didn't completely match her attitude. Once the hors d'oeuvres were set and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple of casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant, and the meal ended up being so quiet you couldn't ignore the sound of rain sneaking in the dining hall. Kumasawa and Shaonan, pushing the serving cart, ran into Genji and Kanon on their way to the kitchen.
Oh, it's Genji-san. Did you lend Maria-san an umbrella?
An umbrella? What are you talking about?
Well, I heard that it started raining. Maria-sama was alone at the rose garden. It seems she borrowed an umbrella for someone, but we don't know who it was.
It wasn't me. After all, I actually thought Maria-sama was in the guest house. When Battler-sama first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella. My apologies, but it was not me either.
Then, you don't think it was Master? Within the dining hall and right here, everyone had stated that they hadn't done it.
That only left Kinzo, but maybe he went walking down the corridor for some reason.
And you just happened to see Maria-sama in the rose garden without even an umbrella?
Master is not particularly fond of Maria-sama. I agree. I can't imagine that for Maria-sama's sake, you go out the trouble of descending the stairs with an umbrella.
Oh my, how troublesome. Does that mean the one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama? Oh,
Kumasawa laughed, just like the relatives in the dining hall who had laughed at it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, a crisp sound of hands clapping twice ran throughout the hallway. Get the fuck back in the room! Oh god. Hey guys, do you want to play clap? Here, push my hands. Just go. Just high five my hands, dude. Go. That was fun. Wait. I did not just put my hands to the screen and then be like, man, that was fulfilling. They all turned around at once to see Goda coming out the dining hall. Okay, everyone. When serving a dinner, proper timing while setting the table is essential. Please immediately see the setting out the soup. Genji-san, the women are in the middle of an important job, so please don't get in the way. You fucking bitch. Kanon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Kanon respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Kanon on the shoulder as a warning. Kanon reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal. Obey Goda's instructions. Hurry and prepare the dinner table. Come now, there's no time. Don't dawdle. Hurry. Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shana and steadily pushed it towards the kitchen.
Then please allow us to return to the kitchen. After all, Godo-san's temper is very short. Ooh.
Please excuse me as well.
Umasal and Shannon left. Only Genji and Kanon remained. Though the window of the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt. L's halls.
Genji-sama, did Beatrice-sama really return?
I don't know.
Shall I inform the master?
That is not necessary. She truly has returned. She will eventually appear before the master of her own accord. Furthermore, she's a fickle person. It would be pointless to report to the master only to find she does not appear.
I wonder if this means the master ceremony is already. I wonder if this means the master ceremony has already begun.
Probably. However, that has nothing to do with the furniture like us. We must continue to return the favor we received from the master until our final moments.
Yes, that is furniture's duty.
Thunder crashed once more. Except for those instants when lightning lit up the sky, nothing could be seen out the window but the darkness of the night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, those that are not human rule when the sun is down. The darkness of the night that now surrounded Rakenjima was ruled by another master, not the Ushiromiya family. This master took pity on Maria when she was alone and being pummeled by the rain in the rose garden, lending her an umbrella. Kanon looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights weren't enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Kanon forced himself to avert his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Can the weather change how people act? You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. For some time now, everyone has been struggling to clear the gloomy atmosphere. But any conversation was quickly cut off. In the end, the dining hall was simply filled with the sound of rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied with pear sherbet. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipes as soon as his final dish was presented, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent. The weather was horrible, and the identity of the one who lent Maria an umbrella remained a mystery. When dinner ended, no one even felt one bit refreshed. It was too late now. I realized painfully that the taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere. Fuck, damn! The whole
atmosphere was also critical.
The whole atmosphere was also critical. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of this musical piece called Dinner, did his best to enliven the place, dropping little jokes left and right. Apparently not one of them succeeded. Yikes, man. That's the worst. After taking orders for an after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke. My. What a waste of that dinner Goda worked so hard to create has met with gloomy atmosphere.
Yes, absolutely. It just feels like nothing would taste good today.
Oh, I'd like to know why you feel that way. Later on, I'll do all I can as your older brother to cheer you up. Aunt Ava grimaced slightly. I'd already heard that she wasn't on good terms with Uncle Kraus, but it was pretty clear now. When I looked around, I noticed that my father and Aunt Rosa were also grimacing. Apparently, something besides the weather troubling all of them. Both Aunt Ava and my dad aren't looking too happy.
Really? I don't think so.
I asked Aunt Natsuhi who was sitting on my right, but she seemed to be in a bad mood as well. She snapped back as if she was absolutely not interested. Well, our adult conversation got a little complicated. It wasn't exactly something kids like you need to worry about, Battler-kun. Ha 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 ha. Isn't that right, Natsuhi-san? Kirie-san? Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness, so I could vaguely imagine how complicated their adult conversation had become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kirie-san, the people who had directed his comment to, ignored him as though they hadn't heard anything. I didn't know what kind of conversation they'd been having while us kids were away, but it reminded me how Dad said that he had stomach cramps when he arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have taken a playful reunion, or might have been a playful reunion for oh, Jesus Christ. To us kids, it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi's comment was ignored by the other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kirie-san spoke up. We were talking about the kids' careers, how the kids' careers would turn out. Such as what lies in your future, Battler-kun. Will you drift on to college? Wouldn't that be a little disheartening, as starting a line in the long race of life? Fuck. Hey, wait a sec. What did you even say there? Listen, man, there's something in this fucking chocolate cake because I am unable to speak. Kirie-san? Kirie-san, if you're talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it won't digest well and we'll end up getting constipated. That's right. We're talking about Battler-kun's and Jessica-chan's careers. You gotta think seriously about the future. Hideyoshi hardly agreed that there had been talking about that, but it was probably wrong. Kirie-san had been obviously trying to change the subject. However, if Kirie-san had determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she was probably right. Taking this into account, I cast aside my suspicions as to the cause behind Aunt Neva's and Dad's bad moods. God, please, I need a chapter end. My fucking jaw is dying. At long last, the serving cart returned, filled with coffee and tea. Masawa-san and Shanan-chan served it to everyone. Goto-san then explained that, we're getting the letter, right? So this concluded tonight's meal. Sorry, I fucking spoiled my own fucking stream. If only the mood had been a little bit more cheery, it might have been the best dinner of my life. It's a shame that this best dinner couldn't have been under the best conditions. Read better. Be better, Max.
Doo-doo! Georgia Nichan, is dinner time over now? Over?
Yes. With that, dinner is finished. Don't be rude. Stay in your seat and calmly drink up.
Doo-doo!
Maria looked like she was really excited by the occasion of crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window? She'd been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder, while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter sort. Therefore, she had heard from George and Nikki that dinner was over. A huge smile broke across her face. She then rose from her seat, took out her handbag, which she set under her seat, never having left it while she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. No one seemed particularly concerned by this behavior. What's that? Where did you get it? George was the first to notice it. As he spoke, Battler noticed too. They saw that Maria was now holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. On the front of the envelope, the Ushiramiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, God, I keep saying angel, was done in gold leaf. God, that was a good moment too, fuck! Furthermore, the fact that it was sealed with a dark red wax made it clear that this wasn't something Maria could have brought as a prank.
Maria-chan, what is that?
It seemed that Natsu had noticed the strangeness of the envelope Maria was holding. Her voice sounded so serious for someone admonishing a small child. I'm admonishing you! The relatives around us noticed too. What happened, Natsu-ne-san?
What is that? Maria, where did you pick that up?
That envelope has Enzo-san. One-winged angel, fuck, it's Sephiroth! The Witch of Rokenjima, Sephiroth. When Nanjo muttered that, even us kids could understand why everyone seemed frozen solid. The envelope that Maria held was one of the Ushiramiya family head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, they could only mean one thing. Sephiroth's here for the reunion. We shall... Wait, is that Sephiroth? We shall go together. Is that him? I don't know. That may be a different Square Enix character. Oh no, that's Xemnas. We shall go together. Xemnas and Sephiroth on their date at Rokenjima. It was Sephiroth who stole the rose. In other words, it can only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo. Severance! You've heard of Beatrice. Now here's Sephitrice. Ho. What is an They both have luxurious hair, so I mean, I don't see a difference. What is an envelope like that doing here? Now that's an interesting thing to come jumping out at us. Just let me have a peek.
Doo-doo. No, wait.
But I'll read it. Maria?
I was told to read it to everyone.
Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out of Maria's hands, but she protected it as though she was hugging it and didn't let go.
Hideyoshi-san, you can't use force against a child. Maria-chan, where did you get this envelope?
Doo-doo. I got it from Beatrice when she gave me the umbrella. She told me to read it so everyone after the meal was over. I'm the witch messenger. Doo-doo.
Messenger? In English? Give me a sec. It's gonna be super loud. 1 second. I'll just set it to like this. Nope. No, Bella, shut up. Shut up. You're stealing my job.
Messenger?
Messenger? Yes, that. Messenger. Sorry, I just had to... I gotta do that in episode 5. There's no way I can't. Battler tried to joke about it, but no one laughed. Oh, wait. Messenger? That made me miss the voices so fucking much. I didn't realize how much I miss these fucking voices until I fucking played the sound effect, because I've just been speaking this whole time. I honestly miss this voice cast so fucking much. I wish I could hear it, but I've gone this far now. I have to just keep voicing it. Bella tried to joke about it, but no one laughed.
I wonder what's written inside of it, Maria-chan.
Doo-doo. Gonna read it. Doo-doo.
Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed with wax, so she just had to remove the sealing wax to open it. The sealing wax fell onto the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. He then set it on the center of the table where Natsuki, Kirie, and Nadra stared at it. Imprinted in the sealing wax was the one-winged eagle. Got it. Which was the Ishiramiya family crest and also Kenzo's personal crest.
This is the family head's personal crest.
I know from the letters I've received. I gotta commit to the bit, it's so true. I know from the letters I received that Kenzo-san before. Without a doubt, this is his wax seal.
But aren't there several things in this mansion bearing that crest? For example, there's some kind of stamp for wax seals. Couldn't someone other than Kinzo-san have used it?
No, Kinzo-san has always used a ring on his finger. It's proof of the Ushiramiya family headship when he sealed the wax. This shape and complex design is definitely Kinzo-san's seal. That is not necessarily so. Anyone in the family must have received a letter from father at least once. We can't eliminate the possibility that someone used that wax as a model to create a fake seal and pass themselves off as father. I agree with Aniki. No matter how much the seal resembles Dad's, we can't prove that it's the real thing. So, it doesn't prove this envelope came from him.
I absolutely agree. I cannot approve of arbitrarily deciding this letter came from father based solely on the wax seal. Dr. Nanjo, can you use a bit of more discretion with your vague words?
I apologize. It was not my place to speak. One after another, all of the siblings from Kraus downward rejected Nanjo's statement, saying the envelope Marie held didn't necessarily from Kinzo. They were afraid. They feared something from the bottom of their hearts. That Kinzo hated them. That Kinzo's intentions were written in there, and that there might be some announcement regarding the inheritance that would be decidedly unfavorable for them. First of all, while I'm here, what the fuck is up with Ava's gloves? Like, why is one of them, like, all the way up, and the other... Because I get her tattoos there, but, like, you couldn't just do, like, two it's just really funny. Regarding the inheritance would be decided unfavorable to them.
Maria, the person who gave you the envelope was the same person who lent you the umbrella, right?
Udo.
I don't know what Udo means. Is it true?
Udo.
Wait, how does oo sound again? It's Udo, right?
Yes. Udo.
I just had to hear it. I gotta make sure. If I've been doing Udo this entire time, it's not Udo. I'm gonna be a little pissed. Here. Uh-oh. It's just oo. It's oo? I thought it was Udo. Ooh. Ooh. Fuck. It's oo. God damn it. She says Udo other times. I'm pretty sure. Fuck it. Whatever. Ooh. Not return to title screen, please. Get rid of these voices. Get out of here. Ooh. Ooh is so fucking hard to say. So in other words, Witch, Beatrice, gave Maria-chan that envelope. I can't believe that was a breaking point for me. Along with the umbrella.
Ooh.
Maria nodded forcibly.
I agree with my husband. It's a dubious letter handed down by some suspicious person. It's not even worth reading.
There's nothing wrong with just reading it, right? Bauer said it to Jessica in a small voice, trying to act tough, but Nazi heard him clearly and glared at him with threatening eyes.
And then, Beatrice told you to read it after the meal is over, right, Maria?
Ew.
It's okay, everyone. This envelope didn't come from Grandfather, but from Beatrice. Regardless of who actually wrote it, we can't just hear what's inside before we decide.
That's right. Even if Father didn't necessarily write it, it's still known what's written in there. Maria-chan, I'm sorry I tried to take it away from you by force earlier. I apologize, so will you read aloud for everyone?
Maria, read it.
Ew. Ew. Ooh. Ooh.
As all the relatives stared fiercely at Maria, she spread the letter open with a rustle. Do you really think it come from Dad? Impossible. Whether Father has announced something to us in the past, he would always send Genji if he didn't do it directly, correct? I cannot believe that he would use such a joke-like approach.
That's right. Maria, a messenger in English. That definitely doesn't suit Father's tastes. Rosa, could this be Maria-chan as trying to surprise us by putting on some kind of show? Maria isn't really a kid that would be capable of something so thoughtful.
Damn, call your child dumb.
Gonna read it. Ew.
The words came from Maria's mouth, but for some reason her voice seemed different from usual. Everyone was suddenly silent. Fucking yes! I love Fishy Aroma! I love Fishy Aroma so much! Fuck yeah. I love this fucking song. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, 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 boom. Fucking, I love this fucking game.
Welcome to Rokenjima.
Oh. Sorry, I've got to make a choice here. I'm not gonna read this as Maria. I've got to make a choice here, and I've got to
Welcome to Rokenjima, members of the Ushiomiya family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family employed by Kenzo-sama himself.
That's not a good Beatrice voice right now. I'll get it later. Just get Hideyoshi. That's crazy.
Quiet! I've served him for many years in accordance with our contract, but this day, Kenzo-sama has announced the final suspension of that contract. Therefore, I ask you to acknowledge my resignation from the position of family alchemist from this day forth.
How foolish. What nonsense.
I can't stand to listen to it. And now, there is one part of the contract that must be explained to all present. I, Beatrice, lent Kenzo-sama a vast quantity of gold under certain terms. One of these terms specified that the gold is to be returned to me on the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Ushiomiya family as interest.
Ridiculous.
It's been ridiculous from the beginning.
So it's basically one of those things, right? God, I fucking love Fishy Aroma. Doesn't it sound like just one of those contracts with the devil? The contract has expired, so they've come to collect the interest. Is she trying to grab some retirement money for her old age or something? What a cheeky witch. Outlaw-kun, now is not the time to joke around. Outlaw made a face to ask, if I can't make fun of this, what can I make fun of? Some of the adults' faces were pale, others looked dazed.
After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless. However, Kinzo-sama did append a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your wealth and honor. If and only if that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my right to the gold in the interest of all eternity.
I'm liking the voice more and more. I'm working with it. A special clause.
What is it? Special clause. Beatrice remains the right to collect the gold and accumulated interest upon the termination of a contract. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if one of you fulfills the terms of the special clause, I shall return everything, including the proportion that has been already collected. Furthermore, as a step in this collection of Kinzo-sama's debt, I have taken possession of the Ushirimiya family head's ring, which signifies the passage of the Ushirimiya head family headship from one individual to another. I ask that you confirm this for yourselves by examining the imprint on the wax seal.
Are they trying to claim that that's the meaning behind the seal? That father would relinquish his ring is unthinkable. I'll stare at the sealing wax as if it was trying to burn a hole through it. Eva and Rudolph were doing the same over his shoulder. Come to think of it, when we were playing chess, I did have a strange feeling that something was missing from Kinzo-san's finger.
Dr. Nanjo, don't say something so careless just because it's so vague in memory.
We can't prove its authenticity here. Only by asking Father directly can we determine whether he really handed over his ring and whether this letter tells the truth.
That's right. It's just as Kirie-san says.
You really think Kinzo-san will tell you? After all, that person's thoughts sometimes surpass the bounds of common sense. No matter what happens, it's still nonsense. In the first place, I fucking love this song. The illusion of a gold itself is one of Father's tricks. I've already heard enough talk about gold from the rest of you.
But this is the witch we're speaking of, right? About how the inheritance of all the assets we handed down to the one who finds the gold, right? So maybe Beatrice's father's legal advisor in charge of his friends? We can't possibly trust some strange person who entrusts such a suspicious paper to a child.
Aniki, we need you to be frank with us. Is it possible Dad's assets are being managed by someone you don't know? No, it's not possible. As the family's head's representative, I control all of Father's assets. It should be impossible for anyone to do as I please with them without me knowing it.
So, this must mean there are some assets you don't control, right, Krasny-san?
How foolish! Such assets could not possibly exist.
Oh, but there is such a thing. An asset of Father's that you don't control. There's no such way that thing could exist!
No, it does. It's Father's— no, Beatrice's hidden gold. Let's keep it simple. In short, Dad has some entrusted confidant that Aniki doesn't even know about. Furthermore, this person has always been in charge of watching and managing the gold. Or it could be some eccentric rich person who offered him a loan with rules of like a devil's contract.
Could it be that this confidant called Beatrice is trying to test which of Kinzo's children is most worthy to be financed by her gold?
Yuri's question was one that all the siblings wanted to answer. But upon reflection, they realized that Kinzo's strange epitaph had hung in the hall beneath the witch's portrait for quite some time. And while it had long been whispered that whoever solved the puzzle would receive everything, no one had clearly stated it. It was just something that everyone had hoped might be true. And right here, right now, the thing they'd hoped for had been clearly stated in Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified that everything of the Ushirimiya family would be given to the one who found the gold.
Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold with the epitaph under the portrait. These rules apply equally to those who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden. That's not her voice. I'm not using that voice for her. I just gotta get to her fucking crazy talking.
Father, I know you can hear me. Please respond.
The door to Kinzo's study was being violently, harshly beaten against over and over like a percussion instrument. The yells coming from the other side belonged to Kraus, Rudolph, and sometimes Ava. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind a mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating. He didn't care. Kinzo was an unbothered king. An elegant tablecloth was set over the desk. The fabulous dinner, adorned with a table down the dining hall, was reproduced here. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. King. Shadow, taking away the empty plate, looked uncomfortably between the door and pounded on Kinzo's face. I don't want to ever call Kinzo King, though. Actually, I rescind that. Take it back. Fucked up. Evil.
Everyone is calling for you. But what should I do?
Leave them. God and my meals have both silence as a virtue. Should I silence them? There's no need. It does not even reach my ears.
Kinzo enjoyed his food, apparently indifferent, unbothered. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Kanan, who stood in the reserve like a shadow behind him, was the sight of Genji opened his mouth. Maria-sama apparently received a letter from Beatrice-sama, so I imagine they want to test its authenticity. Has she started already then? Come, Beatrice. I have no shortage of coins to be wagered. Shall we enjoy this night to the fullest? I don't think I'll lose. Kinzo simply can't hear them. I'm simply don't care. I don't think I'll lose. Your smile. Your smile. Your smile will be mine for all eternity. If I could see it one more time, I wouldn't regret losing my wealth, my honor, or even my life. Well then, the roulette has begun to spin. Which pocket will the ball fall into? Noir, Rouge, Rouge the Bat, or Knuckles, or House Takes All? Come, you may begin, Beatrice. I'll show you the power of miracles once more. Crash! Bang! Kapow! I don't know if that's a good place to... Ooh. 2 hours passed. 10 o'clock at night. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 22 at night. Is this a good time to end it? I think I'm beginning fucking tired. Okay. Hear me out, right? I stop for now, and I come back. Now, keep in mind, the last time I stopped this was in May. So, I think I should set it up so I stream Umineko once a week, at least till episode 1 is done. Which I'm probably like maybe a third of the way done with episode 1, maybe halfway. So I think as it is right now, that is the plan. Maybe Thursdays are good for Umineko. Who knows? Maybe Sunday. No, Thursday's probably the best. Sunday I can do other stuff. Okay, so thank you so much for coming out, buddy. I hope you had fun. Thank you for following, by the way. I have to offload you on someone else because I am fucking tired. Oh, let me save. First thing I need to do right now, save. Saved. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna raid someone who is live RN. But thanks again for coming out. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to read more Umineko when I like next week probably. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay.
Here, let me just type it out. Yeah, you enjoyed this. I'm so glad. Whenever I'll come back. Here. Let me just say it right now. I will be streaming Umineko Thursdays, similar time, like 8 p.m. start time, from now on until episode 1 is over. So there's my guarantee. If I break it, you can throw a rock at me. I'm gonna throw rocks at your window. And here is the raid. I'm raiding. So later, later skaters. And thanks. If you wanna, my stream. Fuck. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays now. So that is it. Okay. Bye bye. Bye. No.
Where's my link? Oh, this thing will save my. 69 losses.
I didn't press in stream. Haha, that's so silly.